Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
Evening, dear listener. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Michael. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. This is live. This is not a best of. This is 1 minute to 10 o'clock on Monday night. Lots to talk about. I think we might have a word about Vaz. Because I don't think he's done anything massively wrong. He's certainly not done anything illegal. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Beatles. We'll talk about Matt Haig. We'll talk about Bucks County Council ruining mine and my mother's dreams. All of these things after 10 on Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we've paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow, I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
Yep. So, and listen for the buzz. Listen for the buzz. The buzz. Stops like that. Just like that, you see. So, oh, I'm all out of a breath. Focus. Monday evening, Talk Radio. It's live. It's not a best of. There'll be a best of on Friday because I'm bunking off to see the Bare Naked Ladies. Deal with it, guys. Deal with it. But tonight is not a best of. Tonight is a live of. Live off. Live off. So, 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Look, kind of lots to talk about tonight. We've had a very exciting evening, Catherine and myself, in that we went to see a special screening of the Beatles live at Shea Stadium, 1965, in front of 56,000 hysterical Beatles fans. And it was awesome. Now, the hardcore purists will be disappointed that the original 50-minute feature has been edited down to 30 minutes, but that notwithstanding, it looks and it sounds amazing. Then, after that, oh, and Giles Martin was there, son of George Martin, and everybody on Twitter who asked me who Giles Martin is, I'm assuming you're in the process of deleting your accounts now. I'm assuming you are deleting your accounts. And Giles Martin was there, and we went and said hello to him. Then after that, Catherine and I had to dash off to go to a book launch Yeah, by the excellent, would you say a book launch by? A book launch for? A book launch with? A book launch because? I don't know. I don't know the terminology. The excellent Matt Haig, who's been on this show and will be on this show again, for his new book. Was it The Girl Who Saved Christmas, isn't it? And we all got gift bags with Christmas crackers and baubles and sweets and a free copy of the book. There we go. And then I made myself do a fanboy thing there, and I said, Matt, this is a bit awkward, but would you sign my book for me, please? And he went, of course I will. And he signed it, and it was delightful. And we got cabs everywhere. Uber? Oh, no! No! But I'm supposed to be bumming black cab drivers. No! Too expensive! Too expensive and not as convenient. And I know, listen, black cab drivers, I do use you from time to time, so I don't want you all switching off in your droves. But I know, 0844 499 1000, by the way, I know it is fashionable for radio hosts, black cab drivers, black cab drivers, black cab drivers! But, Uber. And here's the thing, guys. How do I find out my Uber rating? I'm keen to know how I'm rated by the drivers. I can't think of any reason why I would be less than a 5. I can't think of any reason why my Uber rating would be anything less than perfect. But I don't know how you find out what it is. I don't think I've ever given... I gave one driver a 3 because he went to the wrong place to pick us up. So he got a 3. I gave everyone else a 5 this evening, apart from the first driver, who was on his phone when we got in the car. He got a 4. But otherwise, clean vehicles, friendly attitude, courteous, respectful, 4 or 5s. Easily. But how do I find out what my rating is? Because when it comes up and it says it's Mohammed or Ashfik, not me being racist, that were their names this evening, are going to pick you up, you see their rating. I'm assuming that they see my rating and they decide, oh, he's a 5. Yes, we're going to pick this guy up with glee. Or, it's a 3. I don't think so. He's probably going to defecate in the back seat. So I'm keen to find out, is the only way I do it by becoming an Uber driver myself? Is that the only way of finding out what my rating is? There must be a way. And there must be a way of hacking into the rating system. Just like they did in movies in the 80s. The boffin kid called Eugene would always hack in to... Matthew Broderick did it in War Games. Would hack into the school records and give himself A's. Right? So, how can I find out what my rating is? And if I am anything less than perfect, who do I complain to? Because that is... I've literally done nothing wrong in cabs, apart from being polite and and courteous. Not being rude. So if I were to have less than perfect, that means someone is bad-mouthing me, and that's libel. And I'd want to sue. I'd want either an apology and my 5-star rating restored, or I'd want to sue. It really is that simple, guys. So come on, Uber drivers. Have you got the balls to call in and explain yourselves, you sick deviants? Have you got the guts to phone in and tell me what my rating is and then justify why it's anything other than perfect? Have you? Have you? I bet you bloody haven't. Or have you? Haven't you? Or have you? 0844 499 1000. Well, it's not often... when people call in, you get their surname. But we've got Mr. Hardy's surname. It's Mr. Hardy. Good evening, Mr. Hardy.
Hello, how are you, Ian?
I'm good, thank you, Mr. Hardy. How are you?
Good.
What have you got for us, Mr. Hardy?
Right, your rating is 100%. Your ratings.
Sorry?
Your rating is 100.
What is? My Uber rating?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I'm psychic.
Right. It's out of 5.
Give you a 10.
Sorry?
I give you a 10.
Do you know... Can I ask you a question, Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Do you know what Uber is?
No.
Okay. Well, I kind of picked up that vibe from you, Mr. Hardy.
Yes.
But you would give me 10 out of 10?
Yes.
Okay. What have you done today, Mr. Hardy?
What I've done today, I've been working today in Cumbraen Green Meadow Community Farm today.
Oh, yeah?
From 7 till 4:30, then went home, had a shower, then I went to work in the premise shop, 6 till 9.
Blimey, you've worked a long old day. What happens at the community farm?
Oh, what we do, it's 10 o'clock we open, and Monday's a good day, and we basically it's like loads of animals, like sheep, goats, cows.
Do you sell foals?
Foals?
Puppy foals?
The baby horses.
Do you sell them?
Yeah, we do sell them.
How much do you sell them for?
Basically, I mean, next Monday.
Yeah.
And, we got, rabbits, chickens, guinea pigs, when they get babies, and we sell them.
Here's the thing, Mr. Hardy. What exactly is a guinea pig? I can't work it out. A cat, right, it's a cat, right? And it's related to lions and leopards and tigers, right? A dog, alright, it's a dog and it's related to wolves and stuff. But the guinea pig, what the hell is that thing?
A guinea pig, right? You're like a hamster.
Yeah.
And then you, a guinea pig, which is similar,
yeah, I know. I've seen a guinea pig, but what is it? What is it related to? Is it related to the hamster?
Yes.
Okay, like distant cousins or something.
Yes.
Now, if you were my Uber driver,
yeah,
I would give you a rating of 4.
Why 4?
Well, because you talked too much. But you're not my Uber driver. You are a caller to Talk Radio, so I would give you a 5.
Thanks, Ian.
Out of 100.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. Hey, nice one, man. We've not spoken before, have we, Mr. Hardy?
No.
How long you been listening to the show for?
Yesterday and today I had a notification of you came on my phone.
Oh, brilliant. All right. Nice one, man. Well, listen, Mr. Hardy, I hope we get to speak again.
Ian.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Heart Radio?
Heart 106.2.
105.2.
It depends where you are. I'm guessing from your accent that you're from Scotland.
No, Wales.
Okay, sorry. And I'm accent dyslexic, so I can't tell where accents are from. It's actually a disability. They have different frequencies. So in London, it's Heart 106.2. In Wales, it's Heart 105.2.
Yeah.
And elsewhere, it would be like Heart 106, 10. I can't think of. Do you know what? I can't think of any other numbers. I can only think of those 2 numbers. Isn't that stupid?
Basically, it's like 102.
Yeah.
And this is Heart 105.9 FM. It's
Capital FM. Capital 95.8 FM. What other radio station numbers are there? I missed the numbers. Mike Reed, 275 and 285. Mike Reed, BBC Radio 1. That's an old one. That's an old one. That's when they were on, like, medium wave.
Yeah.
You're too young for that, Mr. Hardy, aren't you?
No, I'm 21.
21. 21. Flipping heck, you're a boy. You're a boy. You've got you are a boy, man. You've got that, and you don't think you are. You think you're all grown up, but you're not. You've got the world ahead of you. What,
Yeah.
where do you, right, I'm 22 years older than you, right? I'm over double your age.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be when you're my age?
I'd rather be in an office studio.
In an office studio?
Yeah.
What does that doing this?
Yeah.
Get out of town. Get out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick that farm up your jacksie. That's never happening. No. You don't.
No, Ian.
Hello?
Because I got, like, a laptop.
Yeah.
And I, like, got, like, with all, like, songs.
What is going on now? What are you doing in the background?
Playing songs on my laptop.
Oh, so look, you want to do a radio show from your laptop?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you do that. All right, Mr. Hardy, it's nice to talk to you, man.
Because I'm a big fan of Jason Harold and Dragon Woody on Heart in the mornings.
I've got a clue who they are. Okay, they sound like losers.
But guess what? You're the best in the world.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, and that's why I'm going to give you 3 out of 100. Nice to talk to you, Mr. Hardy.
Yeah, add me on Facebook.
No, that's never going to happen. But thank you for calling. What a nice young man. 0844 499 1000. It's Talk Radio. We call you back. Speak to you after this.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up all-night generation. Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Lots of you on Twitter explaining how I can get my Uber rating. It sounds very complicated. And it involves me requesting the information and then they email me. That stuff's just not... I just can't just click on it and see what it is. That, to me, is criminal and is outrageous. I never forget, BBC London were doing one of their tedious shows they often do from the back of a black cab, because we support the black cabbies. Well, if you've been spoken to the way Catherine and I were spoken to by a black cab driver at Heathrow Airport, I don't think you'd be so supportive. Get out of my cab. I don't like your attitude. My attitude? You're telling me I don't live where I live. I live there. That's not, it was uncomfortable, wasn't it? It ended with me banging on his window and giving him that as we got into another cab. It was tense. Get out of my cab. I don't like your attitude. There had been no attitude until we got in and he said there's a limit on the fare. It's called fair's fair. I don't think it's that fair. And I said, well, I think it works in our favour, so I think it's quite fair. Yeah, well. And then I told him where I lived. Right, and he gave me a price, and then I gave him the address. He said, well, that's not in that town. I went, yeah, it is. No, it's not. Well, somewhere else. I said, no, I live there. That's my address. Nah, get out of my cab. Don't like your attitude. Go on, get out. Go on. Banged on the window. And that. Now, had there been a rating system in black cabs, I would not have done that behaviour. 0844 499 1000. It's been a really weird day, right? It's been a weird day. It has been a day of emotional roller coasting, right? And I don't want to get too maudlin, but 0844 499 1000. Trish, I'll come to you in a minute. But I had a really crap morning. Let's talk to Trish first, and I'll tell you about my crap morning. Evening, Trish!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip!
What a night, fella, eh?
We touched a hand that's touched Paul McCartney.
And I added him in a tweet, and he tweeted me back.
No, did he?
He did.
What did he say?
Said it was a pleasure to... He said, I'll read it to you, hang on. He said...
What's his Twitter handle? I'm going to tweet him now.
Pleasure to meet you, Trish. Thank you so much for coming and saying hello.
Oh, baby! Tris, as your regular listeners will know, is a regular caller. He's a repeat offender, and because this screening of the Beatles at Shea it's like an industry event. So people get invited who write for magazines and present radio shows. So then hopefully they will say nice things about it on the radio and nice things in print. And it's one of the perks of the job. You get to go and see a lot of crap as well. But I thought that these things are often wasted. A lot of the people, although there seems to be a lot of fans there tonight, but quite often it's people that are there because it's free beer and it's a free film. And I thought this was such a special thing. Wouldn't it be nice if we tried to enhance the atmosphere in the private screening room by bringing on a hardcore fan, such as yourself, Tris? And why don't you tell the boys and girls at home where we sat?
We sat front centre.
Yep. Second row. No, allowed to sit in the front row.
Well, second row, yeah.
Second
we
row.
weren't allowed to sit in the front.
In the centre, with a proper cinema screen. And, I was talking to Kath about, we had to shoot off afterwards because we went to book launch. But I was talking to Kath afterwards and she says, all I could hear for the first 5 minutes was you and Tris going, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And we were, because the picture quality is amazing.
It was outstanding. Really outstanding.
I want to watch it again. It was only half an hour long. I fancy it again. It looked great. It was really interesting set list though. There's only 2 Paul McCartney lead vocals. No Harrison.
No Harrison. No. It was the John show, wasn't it? And wasn't it interesting about what Giles said about following the sort of taps of the feet and the shakes of the head? Yeah,
shakes of the arse is the thing. Yeah, exactly. What I noticed, because I've seen that before, like dodgy bootleg VHS tape from the late 80s, right? But what I noticed in its upscaled 4K, did you see how much makeup Ringo had on? Did you see it? His face.
Oh, I didn't actually.
Oh, mate. Ringo's face was covered in slap, right? But it stopped at his neck. So his neck is all white, but his face, it looks like he's Pakistani or something. It was because they used to put a bit of slap on because they're old school, right?
Yeah,
and I'm going to tweet. It's Mashup Martin, is it?
Mashup Martin.
I'm tweeting him.
He's my friend, mate. You get off.
And then afterwards, and I'm glad we stuck around for a bit because we had to shoot off. But I'm glad we stuck around. Afterwards, we're all milling around, and we saw Peter from Peter and Gordon.
Lennon McCartney used to write for Peter Gordon.
Woman, do you love me? Woman, if you need me, then I can say without any fear of legal recriminations, Peter Asher has consumed more drugs. That tiny wee ginger man we saw today has consumed more than most countries have. But Giles Martin strode out, and we were both stood there, kind of, like prunes. And I don't know what it was, Tris, but the spirit, some spirit possessed us, and we both like, come on, let's do this. And we strode over, hands outstretched. Giles, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for all of your work on Love and the Beatles. Loved it.
I told him I loved him, didn't I?
Well, you asked a fanboy question. I was about to go, and then you steamed it with a quote. I'm thinking, oh, Tris is a player. He's playing it.
It's never going to happen again in my life, mate. So,
it's not.
What's the worst that could have happened?
And he wasn't he? And this is proper posh upbringing. Wasn't he I was so surprised because I just was going to interrupt the conversation I was having and just say thanks very much and shoot off. But he turned to us. He made us feel important. He chatted. He smiled. He said, "I'd forgotten how." I'll rephrase it slightly. I'd forgotten how crap help sounded. God, didn't it sound crap?
Yeah.
We're going, no, it was great. It was great, Joe. I love you.
He was so charming.
Yeah.
So charming.
Look at us grinning like children. And it was nice to see you, Tris. Thank you for coming down, man. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for the invite, mate. I really appreciate that.
Nice one, man. You got back safely?
Yeah, just got back.
Groovy.
Lovely.
Right. Nice one, man. Well, next time there's a Beatles do, we'll invite you along.
Yeah, do it.
You're our official Beatles correspondent, although it turns out you hate all of the Beatles except for Paul. I thought that was a bit weird, if I'm honest, Tris.
Oh, well. You'll get over it.
I'll get over it. Look, he's changed, hasn't he? Since he met Giles Martin. Thank you, Tris. Nice one, man. Since he met Giles and got a tweet from him, he's all changed, hasn't he? 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We call you back. There's stuff to talk about, but You can call in about anything, right? And I can't stress that enough. We're sat here and we're talking about the Beatles, and we're going to talk about Vaz in a bit, only for a bit, because it's been on all day and it's a little bit tedious, but I want to put my 2 pennies worth in. We'll talk about stuff that's happened today, because I had a lousy morning. And you can call in about any of that stuff, or you can call in about anything you want to call in about. And it can be straight, or it can be light, and it can be stupid, or it can be heavy, it can be whatever you want. Literally, I mean, there's stuff I'd rather not talk about, but, doesn't mean that you can't bring it up in the conversation if you want to. Literally, you can call in about anything, alright? Which is unlike any other, the phone-in show on the radio anywhere in the world. There is no agenda, okay? I will sit here and I will talk about stuff, chip in on that, or if you've got something you want to talk in, or you just want to phone up and make a fart noise down the phone. Literally, guys. You can call in about anything. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Let's go to Toby. Good evening, Toby. Toby? Toby, can you hear me? Can you feel me near you? Toby, can you see me? Can I help to hear you? Ooh, Toby, 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 can you hear me? Can you feel me near you? Toby, can you see me? Can I help to cheer you? Oh, Toby, 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 Toby. I don't think Toby's there. Rob!
Toby.
Rob!
Toby.
Rob!
Toby.
Rob!
Toby.
I keep getting little pimples on my arms, right?
On your where?
My arms.
Oh, okay.
Is that gonna... Am I dying?
Don't think so. You could be getting better. Have you bought a new coat or anything that's pulling the air out your arms?
Have I... do you realise how ridiculous that sentence is?
No, that's true.
Have you bought a new coat or something that's ripping the hair out of your arms?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any... That's never happened at any point ever.
Right, you put that as a phone in, so we'll call it, because if you get, like, certain coats that, like, pull your hair out your arm.
What coat? Sorry, I'm selling some copies of the Unexplained magazines. I bought, just listen, let me tell you my latest eBay buy, right? So I bought the first, I think 5 or 8, I think I bought the first 5 binders full of the Unexplained for 20 quid, right? Postage cost 25 quid. I got the whole deal for 20 quid, a bargain, right? And then some young gentleman called Agfa, like the videotape on Twitter, pointed me in the direction of an eBay thing that was ending at 10 o'clock this evening, right? And it was all of the Unexplained issues. At the moment, at that time, it was £2.20, right? I retweeted it, thought better of it, deleted my retweet. I snuck in with a sneaky bid. I won the entire Unexplained £4.80. £4.80. It's collect. It's in Croydon. I'll pick it up on the way over to the show one night. And then Agfa says, if you want to sell your others to me, let me know. I'm making a profit out of this, Rob.
Toby.
Hang on a minute. Say that again.
Toby.
I'm here.
Hiya, mate. You all right?
I'm all right. There was some kind of blunder, some terrible blunder with the phones.
Who do you want to talk to first, Iain?
This is the game we play.
I called in to talk about Keith Vaz. What did you want to talk about, fella?
Peace Dragon. I mean, I don't know if Vaz has paid, the Dragon off for any kind of services. We don't know about that yet.
Guys, tread carefully.
It's
please.
alleged.
No, guys, tread carefully. Come on now.
I think that was relatively careful.
Well, it was a little bit, but then you mentioned the Dragon. Now, I know I'm rooting around my bag for my hard drive, and I don't think I've got it. and I know you meant Pete's Dragon, but just when you're talking about, dragon has connotations. So just.
Oh, you think it went down the drug house?
I felt maybe I'm being hyper cautious, but I think one has to be. I think someone has to be hyper cautious when. Toby, come on, Toby. Come on, Toby.
I was literally talking about the Disney Studios remake of Pete's Dragon.
I was going to go and see that the other day, but it looked rubbish. Is it any good?
Well, I was going to call it. I can't remember how old your children are, but I took a 4-year-old daughter to see it on Saturday, and I thought in a public service way, I should say, that it starts off with an incredibly harrowing
mild
car
peril.
crash.
Yeah, his parents die in a car crash quite early on.
Yeah, they show you the car crash, and. So what follows then is 90 minutes of kind of Stranger Things twinkling sunlight and your child saying, but when does the mummy come back? That's what happens. It's an hour and a half of a child saying, but the daddy's all right.
I'm glad I opted to go and see the BFG instead of Pete's Dragon.
How was the BFG?
It's all right. There's a fart scene in it, so the kids love that.
Well, there isn't a book. It takes up a lot of the book.
Yeah,
I just read it.
I don't think... The thing is, not a lot happens in the story.
Nor in the book.
No. I think it's a bit of a weak... I think Roald Dahl needs a re-evaluation, because a lot of
it's not what I remembered. I think it works chapter by chapter.
Right.
But when you see... But the story is like, we have a problem, we'll see the Queen, it's all sorted, is what the book is. I haven't seen the film.
Yeah.
But that seems to be... That's the thing. But, but Roald Dahl, his most fun when he's being at his most cruel.
Yeah, and we like a bit of cruelty in our kids' story. We said we went to see Matt Haig this evening, the launch of his new book, The Girl Who Saved Christmas. Now, the first one, the boy... What was it? The boy who what? You need to mouth... Hang on a minute. Catherine needs to mouth. Because the boy who did whatever... Boy Called Christmas, that was it. That's a dark book, man. There's some funny bits in it, but there's also some, there's some pretty harrowing people getting killed and horrible things, and wicked punishments. But kids like that. Kids like being scared.
Do you know what? The bleakest thing I've seen tonight, though, was when I was staring at the DAB scrolling line for Talk Radio, and it says it's the home of Paul Ross. I felt sad about that. I don't know.
Rob liked that one, didn't he?
It made me... It's quite an image.
Full set breakfast.
Not as full set as Keith's Vaz, the breakfast. You wanted to talk about Keith Vaz, did you, Rob?
Yes.
Well, I know I can trust you to tread the fine line.
Well, this is the thing, right? I know you're saying he's not done anything wrong. And fair enough, what he does in his private life's totally fine.
Yeah.
But it's out there.
Yeah.
And we've all worked with someone who's maybe hypothetically had a problem, whether it's been they like partying too much or whatever.
Yes.
So he's going to come into the Commons one day, look a bit tired maybe, he might be poorly, and everyone's going to be like, he's been selling washing machines.
Hey, not just washing machines, Rob, big washing machines. Enormous wash. All right, Jim, you'd be calling him Jim from now on, wouldn't you? Jim Vaz. Thing is, right, I don't like Keith Vaz. I think he's a slimy little so-and-so, and I know a female friend of mine interviewed him, and he was just a little bit slimy. Nothing illegal, nothing you could put your finger on. He was just a little bit, oh, that's a nice perfume. What perfume are you wearing? That smells delicious. Let me smell, and put his nose up and sniffed her neck and stuff. And he famously blocked me on Twitter because when it became apparent that Lord Janner was a paedophile, and Keith Vaz, of course, supported him a lot. I asked him on Twitter about Lord Janner, and he blocked me. So I don't like the bloke. I think he's thoroughly unpleasant and slimy and a self-publicist.
I think if he had any self-decency, he should have him make his dicky bow spin round and his collar spring up. When he's being all steamy, then he could let you know that he's being a bit dirty.
Do those rotating dicky bows actually exist?
Yeah, definitely.
Where? This is what I would do. This is how I would take over the world. One of the tools I would employ to take over the world. I'd make the rotating dicky bows, but I'd give them razor-sharp edges, right? Yeah, Frank Butcher had one when he was having sex with Fat Pat.
You've seen it.
I would make them with, and it would slit everybody's neck. Because to be honest, if you're going to wear a rotating dicky bow, then you're a bit of a bell, right? You probably deserve to die. Quite painfully.
Or a child's magician.
Or a child's magician, yeah. Both parties, both of those groups need to die quite painfully and in quite a bloody way. So,
I don't think you mean that. I don't think you mean it at all.
Do you not think I mean that, Toby?
The child's magician?
Yes.
He's angry at the world tonight, Toby. He wants to kill everyone.
He's invited a magician round. The kids are all entertained. You know, he's done a particularly good trick. He's going to show it. He's going to celebrate it by twirling the old bow tie. Heads off.
The thing is, right, you can't do... I've discovered this. There is no point in doing magic for kids because they don't understand the laws of physics. So they won't explain... They don't understand why a coin being behind their ear is amazing. It's like, oh, right, yeah, okay. You know, they believe in flipping... They think there are monsters in their wardrobe, for crying out loud.
That's the real magic. But if you're starting off with coin behind ear, no one's impressed by that. That's like doing the thumb break in half, hand trick.
That is quite clever.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it now.
Thomas texted in, don't feel sad about Talk Radio being the home of Paul Ross because it means he doesn't have to sleep in his car anymore. Oh, come on, guys. That's harsh.
He did
under a desk now, right?
Did you hear this morning?
No, I don't listen.
Paul opened up on his own press scandal.
He opened up?
Yeah, I don't know if you know, there was a story about Paul years ago. I can't remember the exact details.
Okay.
Oh, God. I can't.
But there was something on the papers, and it involved Paul hugging his wife, saying, I'm sorry. I don't remember the full details.
Okay, and he talked about that today, did he?
He did, in relation to the Keith Vaz.
Very brave of him, very brave of him. I sent him an email when that story broke and saying, chin up, fella, you'll be all right, you'll get through this. He didn't reply. Maybe he didn't get it. But, the thing is, right, with Vaz, right, I don't think he's done anything wrong. He's certainly not done anything illegal. Poppers are legal. You can buy poppers for £5 in any sex shop.
What are poppers?
Sorry?
What are poppers?
They are, okay.
Amyl nitrate.
Is it like those things you had as a kid? You pull them and they stream out like...
No, it's a drug that loosens... Here we go, guys. Here we go. We're going to speak...
Okay.
It's a drug that loosens the sphincter and it creates a euphoric buzz for a few seconds.
Could that be used as a laxative then?
Sorry? Go to the doctor. Doctors, I've not been to the toilet for a week. Right, I'm just going to prescribe you some liquid gold, and what I want you to do is... Cass typing on the screen, he's on a select committee that decides prostitution legislation. Well, then he's better judged to talk about it than anybody else, isn't he? He's experienced it hands-on. Literally. Honestly, and I'm not saying this to be obtuse, right? I don't think he's done anything wrong. He's got kids, and he's got a wife. That's a separate issue, right? But that's a private issue. That's a private issue.
He's debating whether or not he should lose his job.
Sorry?
You're debating whether or not he should lose his job.
Who is?
You are.
What?
Is that what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying? Is that the moral issue? So it's only based on whether you break the law?
No, I've not mentioned him losing his job. Of course he shouldn't lose his job, but that's not what I was talking about.
But hypothetically...
Right.
Hypothetically, if you're given an accommodation as part of your job...
Yeah, you invite your friends round for a party.
And you're
using you get the boys.
And you're using it to film, like, Scissor Sisters videos at night... Isn't that an abuse of...
I think he did it in a different flat, didn't he? I'm not totally sure on the ins and outs, pun intended.
I don't know this hypothetically.
He's creating work for some young men who otherwise could... Who knows what those guys will be up to? Who knows what those guys...
Do you think they're paying their NI in all their contributions?
Oh, I'm sure it's all through the books. It's all through the books. But now listen, now Keith Vaz has become he's become a smutty joke, and we're kind of doing a bit of a Keith Vaz. Honestly, right? I don't think he has done anything wrong. Certainly not worth losing his job about. He's done nothing illegal. I think he's a slimy little git, but that's separate to this.
What guarantee did he offer on those washing machines? I don't even know if he offered any guarantee at all.
Well,
So, Ian?
Yes, Rob?
If he stands again, are you going to get behind him?
You see, and this is what we're dealing with, right? And I don't want to do the whole show about Keith Vaz, but it's been on the radio a lot today, and I was listening to James O'Brien, and who I normally agree with, and I think he was wrong today because he was kind of having a pop at Vaz, and it just made me think. I don't like the bloke Vaz. I'm talking about here, not O'Brien. I don't like the bloke. He came on to our radio show a couple of times, and I thought he was just a bit slimy and a bit evasive. And the incident I recounted with a friend of mine, and the fact that he blocked me because I asked him about Jana, and all of the support of Jana. So I don't like him, right? I don't trust him. But that's irrelevant in this issue. Bloke invited some lads around to his house, paid them for some sex, and did a drug that's legal. I don't condone, I don't condone drugs and all of that stuff. But did stuff. Really? And now he's become a laughingstock. You heard there. The front page of the papers. I'd even go as far as to say I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. Really? Because what he's been, what he's alleged to have done, it's not that. Some people on Twitter are talking about that he allegedly offered to give money so that the gentleman could buy cocaine, but he wasn't going to take any. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen anyway, he said it, but the purchasement, the procurement of the Class A didn't happen. So, really, it's a bit seedy and it's a bit mucky and it's a bit, but I heard the story and read it with great excitement, and afterwards like, oh, is that it? Oh, okay. 0844 499 1000. Leslie, you'll be next. This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Evening. Let me give you two ways you can listen to this show. Let me give you two ways. What can I say? You can watch weeknights between 10 and 1 on Periscope if you go to periscope.tv/Iain Lee. Or you can download the app on your smartphone. You search for the Talk Radio app and you can listen there. Remind me, I've got a film for Film Ring, right? And I want to talk about it next Monday, so you've got a week. But this is going to be a weird film ring because I'm going to suggest that not everybody watch this film because it's really, really grim. Okay, and I think remind me after 11 and I'll talk about it. But I'm going to put out a lot of warnings about this film because it's grim, man. It is grim. It's brilliant. It's an amazing story, but it's grim, and certainly not for younger people. And if you are, I was going to say easily upset, but actually it's not even easily. I mean, I was in tears at it, and there was one scene which we've got the filmmakers coming on next Monday, and there was one scene in it where I don't think it needed to be in there. I think it could have been gotten around by people talking instead of some of the images that they used. And, I'm going to speak to the directors about that and ask them why they, how difficult it was for them to put that scene in. Remind me after 11, and I'll tell you what the film is. You've got a week to watch it, but you don't have to watch it. This is kind of, optional homework as opposed to the normal film ring where it's compulsory. This is optional, and some of you might struggle. Yes, that's the scene, Tim, on Periscope. That's the scene. I didn't think that needed necessarily to be in there. I'll tell you after 11. Leslie!
Good evening, Iain. In Jamaican terms, good night.
Ooh, thanks for calling. Bye-bye! Anyway, no. Good night. Good night, but hang on. Don't you say good night?
In Jamaica?
Yeah, well, and in England. We say it in England as well. But you say that at the end, don't you? Good night.
No, we say it like how you say some good evening in this country. In Jamaica, we just say good night.
Jamaica's stupid, then.
No, Jamaican is good.
Jamaican is stupid.
Anyway.
Yes.
What the phone for, right?
I bet you end a conversation like if you're leaving someone at 10 o'clock in the morning and you're walking away. Would you walk away by going good morning and then walk off?
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
No, you say good morning.
But But at the end of a conversation, you'd say good morning.
At the end of a conversation? It all depends what time it is.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you say good morning.
At the end of that conversation, you'd say good morning.
Yeah.
No, good morning is a conversation opener. So good morning is hello, and good night is goodbye.
No, because the morning is good. It doesn't matter whether it started or ended. It's still good.
Well, it's good, but it doesn't. It does matter whether it started or ended, because you would start the conversation with "Good morning, Leslie. Nice to see you."
Greetings, ain't it?
Didn't know you were staying over.
By saying good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Leslie. Did you sleep well on my sofa?
I wouldn't sleep on your sofa. I got my own.
Okay, well, it's odd that you brought your sofa to my house to stay, and then when you were packing up your sofa in the back of your van and you were going, I would say, goodbye, Leslie, and you'd go, good morning, Iain. That's just nuts, man. That doesn't make any sense at all.
It does, because it's a good morning. It's not a bad one.
It's been a lousy morning. I've been wanting you to leave my house for the last 3 hours, and you just kept eating and making conversation.
Why not? Free?
Free? My valuable time in my precious house. You scared my children. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You weren't to know you were going to break down. Anyway, Leslie, what have you called in for this evening?
Yeah, what it is,
Good night.
I'm in Dunstable at the moment, working.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man, because it's a dump there. Dumpstable.
In a haunted ex-school.
In a what? Oh,
right. Haunted.
Haunted?
Ex-school.
A haunted? Here we go.
Yeah,
Suddenly.
Massive Victorian building.
A haunted
in the High Street.
School in the High Street. This. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Tell me, and have you touched any spirits? Have you seen any ghoulies?
No, it's not midnight as yet.
Okay.
Anyway, you don't believe in that stuff anyway. We talked about it.
I think I'm starting to believe in that stuff, Leslie.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm starting to open my mind
it's good.
to the possibility. We're going to be doing the show from a haunted pub in October.
Oh.
Yeah, and Halloween we're going to go to a haunted pub. Oh. You're invited, but it's miles away. Anyway, yes.
Anyway, what I want to talk about, I'm watching a movie, Oliver Twist.
Your conversation is like trying to follow a pinball around the pinball table. It's all over the shop.
Yeah. Oliver Twist, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling about. Now, Oliver Twist, Dunstable mentioned in the movie Oliver Twist with Mark Lester, yeah? And Jack Wild.
Is it?
Right? Yeah, well, Oliver Twist was in a workhouse in Dunstable, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to know.
Yes.
So, if it's that so...
I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to know what love is. Leslie, hold me.
Yes. I want to know why didn't this attract tourists like the Loch Ness Monster addressed and that famous detective in Baker Street?
The fact that Dunstable is mentioned in the Oliver Twist movie.
Yes.
Why didn't that attract tourists?
Tourism. Yeah.
What does he? I've not seen the Oliver Twist movie. What exactly does he say?
No, someone says that he was in a workhouse in Dunstable and he escaped to London.
Right, but why would people go just because it's mentioned in a film?
Because Oliver Twist story is a great story, just like the Loch Ness Monster addressed in Scotland, isn't it? I heard the Loch Ness Monster addressed in Scotland attract a hell of a lot of tourism especially from America.
So hang on a minute. You're saying that because some people think there is a monster in what is a beautiful, beautiful lake in Scotland, that people go and see that, obviously, and because some kid mentioned Dunstable in a film that's 60 years old, that people should go to Dunstable, but the film isn't even in Dunstable, is it?
No, it's based in London.
Right, so why would they go to Dunstable?
Because Oliver Twist is a famous story.
My fist smashing you in the face is going to be a famous story in a minute. This is you're talking nonsense.
No, I'm not talking nonsense. It's a famous story. Oliver Twist is known and read all over the world, the books, but it doesn't really even mentioned in Dunstable. Why is that?
All right, Leslie, then now is your time. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Hang on a minute, let me get the music. And you are going to sell Dunstable as a tourist attraction to rival the Loch Ness Monster. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Your time starts now. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Your time starts now.
The local authority of Dunstable, they should promote Oliver Twist so that tourists...
No. Forget the Dunstable local authority. This is your job, right? Your job. You have now got 30 seconds of national airtime. This is literally being heard by 6,500 people, right? This is your chance to right the wrongs from Dunstable Council, okay? So you're going to sell it. Here we go, now.
Okay. People should come to Dunstable to see where Oliver Twist lived in the 18th century, and they should endure the life of Oliver Twist.
Hang on.
Is that it?
So part of the tourist attraction would be they would endure the life of Oliver Twist?
Yeah.
Flippin' heck. To be honest, I worked in Dunstable for a year and it does feel like that. Please, sir, can I have some less? Pablo, you'll be up after the news. We'll also tell you what your film ring homework is, but I will present it with lots of caveats. Now's an excellent time to call in 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Talk Radio.
Ah, dear. An hour down. 2 more hours to go. That, excuse me, that flew by. Pablo's going to be up first. You can join him if you want. Now's an excellent time to call 0844 499 1000. We call you back. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here's a message from the Haters Club, dedicated to the one I love. I've been cursed by your wicked kiss. Once felt, it's forever missed, forever missed. I'm a member of the Haters Club, and I'm hating every minute of me without you, you without me. Give me some of that misery, that misery. I'm a high hater. I run with the best like Darth Vader and the Witch of the West, poisoning apples to make you ill, like Cruella de Vil. I'll set you up for the kill. It's such a twisted state of bliss, indulging in such hatefulness. I just need a prequel to redeem my evil, 'cause I wasn't always like this, like this. Seeing couples hand in hand makes it hard for me to understand. Me without you, you without me. Give me some of that misery, that misery. I'm a high hater.
So, Film Ring. And we're not going to make any. We'll do this on the radio, because this isn't a live film ring that people can come to, right? And Film Ring is where I give you a film that you have to watch. You get about a week to watch it, and then we discuss it on air, and we try and get someone involved with the film to come on and talk about it, and they're generally very happy to take your questions and your calls. Now, I've had loads of films suggested to me. Some I've seen, some I haven't seen, and we're only going to do Film Ring when I'm sat there watching a film and going, flippin' heck. If I'm sat watching a film and it makes me on my own go, flippin' heck, or sends shivers up my spine, then that to me is the test. It's nothing scientific, but that's kind of the test. 0844 499 1000, by the way, if you want to call in. And I had this yesterday when was it yesterday I was watching it, or was it the day before? I'm so lost in days. It was yesterday, because Saturday I was in Birmingham to see the Glitter Band. Huh? And so it was yesterday, and it was that thing of flicking through Netflix. It's on Netflix, and they put up a load of new stuff, and I always go on IMDb and kind of look. And I came across one film, documentary, called Who Took Johnny, right? And saw it on IMDb, and it had a really good rating, 7 point something. If it's 6.6 or over, I'm generally in. And I watched it. And I watched it expecting one film, and I got something completely different. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but here is why. Well, the basic premise is, it's a documentary about a woman whose name completely escapes me, a mum whose son goes missing, I think in 1982, 1983, and she is convinced he's been kidnapped, right? And she now goes and offers counsel to other families whose kids have gone missing. And it's really important for her that she believes her son, Johnny Gosh, has been kidnapped. Right? Now, there are so many twists and so many turns in this film, right? And I can't really say any more without giving it away. I will say something, right? There is graphic description of child abuse in there, right? And there are, and this is the scene that I've got a problem with. There are some images in there that, I watched it and it was like, wasn't expecting that. They're integral to the story, right? And I may have made the images sound worse than they are, but now I may have demeaned. It's a tough one to talk about. Here's the caveat: if you are, I'm really trying to phrase this carefully. Possibly, if you are a victim of abuse, or if you find that subject matter particularly upsetting. Who doesn't? I know. Well, some people don't. But steer clear of the film. Steer clear of the film would be my suggestion. I think you'll still be able to enjoy the conversation that we're going to have next Monday with the directors of the movie. But I will also understand, and you don't get people saying this on the radio, I'll also understand if next Monday, for the first hour of the show, if you choose not to listen, because we will be talking about the film. And we'll be talking about this scene. I need you to see it, Kath, because I need to talk to someone about it and try and get our head around how we're going to do it. You watch it this week. It's on Netflix. It's called Who Took Johnny? Look, I can feel my chest tightening as I'm talking about it, because it is, it's such an incredible story. I mean, incredible. It's really heavy. It's really dry. And I know we did the film about another missing young boy, the Frederick Bourdain film, and I can't remember, The Imposter. And pure coincidence that the film after that it follows a similar theme. There were laughs in The Imposter, partly because of the character, partly because of the private detective. I don't think there are any laughs in Who Took Johnny, which makes it hard work. I promise I'll try and find a film that's lighter for the next one, I promise. And I know we started off with Kung Fu Elliot. But it's on Netflix. I won't be offended if you don't want to watch it. I won't be offended if halfway through it you bail out and say, nah, don't need to see this. But I'm really keen to talk about it, and I'm having to bite my tongue because pretty much anything else I say is going to be a spoiler for you, and there are so many twists and turns in this incredible story. So with that in mind, it's on Netflix. Who Took Johnny? We're going to do it next Monday. Next Monday at 10. We've got the directors and producers of the film are going to be on the line from New York City. New York City. And one more thing that's important, actually, and then we'll Kieran and Pablo. I can see Tony calling in. The reason why I think it's worth watching is, and I really weighed, I said it would be a film ring film before I finished watching it, and at the end I was like, oh, have I made the right call? It's a really, really important story. It's a really important story. And I don't think it's in any way exploitative or any way disrespectful to the victims of child abuse. I think that what it is kind of building towards is actually an incredibly important thing and really relevant, actually, to some of the news stories we've had recently in this country. Okay? So, that's your homework. Have a think about it. Let me know if you don't fancy watching it. Let me know if you do watch it and what you think about it. But we'll talk about it in more detail next Monday, 10 o'clock, first hour of Monday's show. Tomorrow's show couldn't be any more different. We got Ron Dante. Who he? The lead singer of the Archies. It's Archie from the Archies. Honey, Honey, Sugar, Sugar. He's coming on. Produced the first 9 Barry Manilow albums. Who else have we got coming up? We've got Weird Al Yankovic. It's a hard C at the end. We've got Hunter Davis. We've got Mark Lewison, who also wrote a brilliant Beatles book. Both of those gentlemen wrote Beatles books. Who else have we got, Kath? We've got P.P. Arnold's coming on. Who are we doing a pre-wet with someone? Oh, I don't know. Loads of people. We've got some cracking guests coming up. Right. 0844 499 1000. Pablo, Kieran, Tony, in that order after this.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. Let's crack on with some calls. Pablo!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip.
How do?
Hey! I've had a lousy day, Pablo. A lousy day. But a cracking evening. Well, the worst start to oh, what a terrible day. It's a terrible day.
Right. As long as you get to bed with a smile, that's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Cheeky.
Yeah. Well, I was in the middle of booking tickets to Dunstable, but I think I'm going to watch this Who Took Johnny instead.
Booking tickets for what in Dunstable? Oh, to go and see the tourist attraction of Dunstable. Leslie sold it well, didn't he?
I'm a Dickens completist. Any reference to any place in Dickens, I've got to go to it because it's like a compulsion.
You love Mike's Dickens. I don't think I've ever read Dickens. Here's the thing, right? I don't like old books. And Catherine, I'm not doing this as a thing. Catherine pulled her face like, I don't like books from the olden days. I certainly don't like Jane Austen. Jane Austen and Thomas Hardy. Boring, man.
Well, I very much like to find my monsters or horror in my fiction. So I've read Frankenstein and Dracula, but Frankenstein, I found it was very much just a lot of letters and a lot of writing. You know,
that's what books are, Pablo. That's what books generally are.
No, but they were like singular letters rather than like a strict narrative. It was just kind of like you were reading somebody's diary.
Oh,
and I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting.
I don't think I'm reading. I was reading a book about John Lennon in America, and it's quite unpleasant, so I've put that down, and I've started... Scroobius Pip is coming on. I've started the Scroobius Pip book, and it's...
Was it the graphic novel, or his proper book?
It's his proper book. It's basically, it's excerpts of interviews from his podcast, and he's written bits around it and stuff like that, and he's going to come on this show when I've finished reading the book. But I think after this... I don't think I'm ever going to read another book again, and let me tell you why. I have been following Daft Limmy on Twitter, and he has been posting lots of videos of him playing Grand Theft Auto 5. And for some reason, I was in bed last night for an hour, and I had to be up early this morning, in bed for an hour, watching Limmy try and do a heist on Grand Theft Auto, right? And I couldn't stop laughing, and I became entranced by it. So
It's superb, isn't it?
It's so funny. Did you see him trying to make a movie the other day?
Well, I saw him I don't know how long it went on with just trying to get to the point of making a movie. There was a lot of going into the wrong menus and coming back out of it, and that was most of the joy, just with Scottish expletives.
And it's just him. Limmy is a brilliant comedian. He's been on this show, and I do urge you to follow him, at Daft Limmy. They were talking about me as well last night. I didn't know I was watching, but I heard them talking about me. And someone mentioned the show, and someone said, "Oh, I think he's a bit of an idiot." And Limmy said, "Oh, well, Ian Lee was very polite to me when I was on his show." Which is nice. But it's hilarious. But I've had Grand Theft Auto since it came out, and I've not played this one, because I didn't like 4. Grand Theft Auto 4, I hated, because you kept getting phone calls from, like, your mates and stuff, and you had to keep going and meeting your mates, and I hated all that. So I've had Grand Theft Auto 5 for, I don't know, a couple of years it's been out. But I've been inspired by Limmy to install it. That took ages. To update it, that took a whole night. Not H. That's what he was talking about last night. He was having an argument with a fella. Some fella said H. A Scottish fella said H. He went, I won't do the accent. What the effing hell are you H. You're Scottish, man. You should be saying H. And they had this massive argument. It was the funniest thing. But so now Grand Theft Auto 5 is now installed on my Xbox, and it looks delicious. It looks delicious.
I had it on my previous system. I've since upgraded the PS4, and I haven't got it was one of those kind of things, like, is it worth rebuying the game? But potentially for the online aspect, probably.
Here's the thing, right? Cause I've got it on Xbox, so I can't go and play him, but I do want to, I can set up a gang, can I, in Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it. One of the issues that generally happens with any kind of online thing, as you'll no doubt know yourself, is that you soon just end up with, like, tirades from 8-year-old Americans using, like, inappropriate racial and...
Well, they use the American kids online, flipping it, they throw the N-word around, don't they?
It's the N's and the F's.
Yeah, jeez.
And the CS's and...
All right, yeah, it's all the swears, all the swears, yeah.
You can think...
But I want to start my own gang, and I want to be the leader of a gang. Steady. I've got a code to download $1 million, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work up. I want to earn my money.
Yeah, they use codes and all that as well. Whenever they redo it, they often try and get out the people. So you might end up in, like, the the cheaters section. They've got, like, different I forget the servers, different servers. So they've got, like, cheaters servers, so people who are quite nasty and beat people up, or
I want to go and meet those guys. I want to go and try and preach the Bible to those guys.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, the main reason I was calling. Obviously, without mentioning specifics, but for my podcast, I've potentially secured 2 upcoming interviews with quasi-celebrity types.
Oh yeah, go on. You do a podcast about what food you should eat whilst you're watching films. Is that right?
Yes.
What's it called?
Food to watch films by .com.
To watch films by .com. Okay, I haven't listened, and I will get round to listen to it one day, but I don't do anything. But I will. Food to watch films by .com. All right. Well, what celebrities have you got on there?
Well, I've got from a recent film that it's not out yet, but from a film that I've reviewed for the next episode. I reached out on Twitter, and I've got the main guy from that film who's not giving anything away, but he's a tour de force.
Is it a porno?
No, it's a Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla. It's an Australian kind of horror-ish film, but it's essentially a story about loneliness. But it's it's good. There goes my review.
Yeah.
But him and voiceover artist from a horror podcast that I listen to. The
Beautiful
podcast. So it was just basically I've listened to a few of your interviews, and I do like them historically as well as currently.
Yes.
More so currently, I will say. Not.
All right, mate. Can you get your tongue out of there? I'm finding it difficult to sit down. Jeez.
But it was just to pick your brains for how to potentially format an interview so it's pleasurable to people listening to it rather than the people taking part.
The way I do it is I just chat, and if I'm interested, then I like to think that people that listen to my show will be interested. Quite often we get guests on and people go, oh, flipping it, what you got them on for? But then invariably those people will then get back in touch and say, oh, actually, it turns out it was really interesting. You know, we get some pretty obscure people on this show, but they're people that have somehow touched me and mean something to me, and I know that they've got an interesting story, and it's just chatting and being relaxed and, you know, maybe having a few pointers jotted down of things that you want them to talk about, but also just seeing where the conversation goes. And also, if they're giving a boring answer, right, this is a tough one. It's easier to do on the phone. It's tough to do when they're in the room, right? Well, actually, in the room you can sort of hold your hand up. But if they're giving a boring answer, don't say, that's boring, man. But just say, okay, I'm going to interrupt because I just want to move on to this, I just want to move on to this, you see. You've got to listen. You've got to listen and pay attention.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Cool beans. And also, I suppose on a technical note, can you do conference calls on Skype?
Yes, you can. And there is a way of recording Skype, but I don't remember how to do it. Do you know how to do it?
Luckily, all I do is call up and they record me, so it's to other men to deal with such things.
Okay.
But,
You can
if
do
it's
conference
possible,
calls.
then they'll find a way.
You can do conference calls. Pablo, I wish you the very best of luck. I'm sure you'll be excellent. Jerry!
Don't believe the Skype.
Hey!
Hello?
Hey, Jerry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
bring
hear
my laptop so I can't hear you.
I can hear you! Can you hear me?
I can down the phone, they haven't got hands-free on today, so...
Okay! We can hear you perfectly, Jerry!
Thank you very much.
Do I need to keep on shouting?
Yes, please.
Okay! What have you called... Shut up! What have you called in for, Jerry?
To speak to you.
Well, you're speaking to me!
I'm just trying to remember. Hold on 2 seconds.
Bloody hell!
How many brain fade moments again? I wrote it down.
Was it about, films?
No, people in the media.
People in the media, okay.
How many of them are fake? How many of them are fake?
All of us.
Yes, you're genuine, I like you.
No, well, am I though? Or am I just playing a role?
No, there's plenty of them out there.
Who do you think is the fakest?
Couple of...
Who?
Radio people. Couple of radio people.
Go on, let's hear their names. Have I really got to shout?
A guy called Dave.
Can you hear me, Jerry?
Yeah.
Oh, you cheating git! You said you couldn't hear me and I had to shout.
I can hear you down the phone.
I'm going to shove that phone up your jacksy in a minute.
No, you couldn't, because that bloke was up there before you.
Oh. Dave...
Going out on the Vaz this weekend.
Do you know what?
Going out on the Vaz.
You've been out on the Raz, have you?
Been out on the Vaz.
Oh, for goodness sake, come on now. I'm going to call a moratorium on Keith Vaz jokes. Is that the right word? Keith Vaz? Yeah.
Moratorium, huh?
So there's a bloke called Dave on the radio who's quite fake.
No, he done me still on the radio years ago. Just found out I did a bit of work experience on the radio.
Yeah.
Years ago, and they were all
Right. So said.
Kids.
Well, but it's the same as in any job, man. You go and work in an office. There are some people that are fake, and there are some people that are idiots, and there are some people that are great, and some people that are honest and open, and it's the same in all areas of life. Maybe it's magnified more on the radio.
Magnus, is like him. Hang on, I was thinking. Oh, I'm not doing well today. You can tell it's hot.
Yeah, it's been very humid today, hasn't it?
How's your mum doing?
I'm going to talk about it after 11. We had an absolutely shocking morning this morning, Jerry. We had a meeting with the council.
With the bean counters.
Yeah. It went badly.
Oh, got to wish her all the best.
Oh, mate, we were both in tears at the end of the meeting.
You and your mum?
Yeah, we're both in tears. I had to ask the woman to leave.
Give her a big hug from me.
Yeah, I'll talk about it after 11. It was horrible.
Can't do you, because we have to... Oh, I don't know what I'll do.
You just... it was very... Anyway, I'll talk
imagine.
Yeah. Anyway.
You're just number to them box.
It's all maths. It's all maths. It's all to do with money. Money, money, money. And they are going to destroy my mother's already fragmented life because of money.
One room, stuck in all the room all day, that's all they're happy with. Stuck in bed even.
Yeah.
Can keep you in bed all day, that's even better.
Yeah. Why not? Let's just kill the lot of you guys, because it costs us money.
Oh, euthanasia's coming in soon.
Well.
It's on the way.
Yeah. Jerry, listen, it's nice to talk to you, man.
Okay, wish you mum all the best.
I will do, mate, and I appreciate your calls, even when you're not well. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye. I'll tell you about that in a bit. Flipping it. It was the most... I've been in some pretty miserable meetings. This was probably the most miserable meeting, and it started off all light and frothy and fun. As I'll tell you after this. Tony, Kieran, don't go anywhere. Come to you in a bit. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
So here's the deal, right? And Kieran and Tony, I will come to you in a minute, I promise. 0844 499 1000. So, my mum's been in a care home for 8 years, and she is, let me work out how old she is. What year is it? Are we in 2016? So she's 65. Yes. And she's in a care home. She's been in a care home for 8 years because she's got really bad MS, and it's really bad. She can't do anything. She's doubly incontinent, and she's completely she can't stand or walk or feed herself. She's completely dependent on people to wash and clean and dress her. Stuff like that. And, because she had £100,000 in her savings, imagine that. Not because she was rich, just because she's never spent a penny. And because she had paid off her mortgage, she has to pay for her care. And the house sold for £250,000. So she had £350,000 in her bank account, right? My children's inheritance, right? And she had to pay for all her care. And at the moment, it is just under £1,500. Get this, guys, a week. £1,500 a week. Imagine that. And she has burnt through the majority of that £350,000 in 8 years. So you do the maths, right? And the government have a law that when your savings drop to £23,500, that's the threshold, the council will take over funding your care. And we had always been told, don't worry, because it's quite a nice care home that she's in, right? Not the best in the world, but it's not crap, right? It's a nice one. But they still have council-funded people there. And we were told, don't worry, when the money runs out, the council will take over. Council will take over. Don't worry, when the money runs out, the council will take over. It'll be fine. Well, the money has run out, and we are at the £23,500 threshold. And I was summoned last week by Bucks County Council to attend a meeting with my mum and a carer from the care home today to assess mum's care package that she needs. And it was all jolly as we sat there and we listed all the things that mum cannot do and all of the things that the carers have to do and all of, how miserable her life is and how she's been there for 8 years and how that place literally saved her life twice when they A, spotted she had breast cancer, and B, she felt a little bit sick a few months ago, as some regular listeners will know, and she nearly died. And it was all kind of quite charming and quite delightful and all of that. And then the social worker said, right, well, let's talk about the financing, shall we? And I said, okay, we can, when we let the person who works in the care home go. She said, right, your mum's paying £1,500 a week. That's quite a lot. We, as the council, will not pay that much money. Okay. I said, how much will you pay? She went, well, now, that depends on the day. Useful answer. I said, okay, well, how does that work? She says, well, we block, and I don't quite understand this, right? She said, we book beds, and it depends on what those beds are going for on that day as to how much we will give you. For example, it could be £600, it might be as high as £1,000, but it won't be more than that. It'll probably be about £600-700. So that is how much we would give you. And I said, right, well, let's assume it's £600. That's a £900 a week shortfall. What do we do there? She says, right, could you pay that money? I said, no, I couldn't. I've got kids, I've got mortgage, and I can't afford £900 a week. And I said, right, can't we work something out, right? With her pension and with her state benefits, she gets about £1,100 a month. Couldn't we put that towards it somehow? She went, oh, no. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's illegal for the person requiring the care to pay for the care once they've crossed the threshold. So she can't... Now, I know why they've done that. I worked that out later on. So she can't then contribute to her own care that she's paying for. The reason for that, I believe, would be because then her savings will go down even quicker till then she has no money and then the council has to pay everything. So the woman said, well, could you pay the surplus? I went, yeah, no, I can't. So I can't pay it. She can't pay it. So what would we do? She said, well, we would move her to a cheaper care home. Silence reigned. We would move her to a cheaper care home where it would be 600 quid a week instead of 1,500 quid a week. Right. Now, I can understand that savings have to be made. Of course I can understand that, right? But I know for a fact, and they tried to dispel this earlier on, but I know for a fact that people in this care home get, if they're being funded by the council, they get it for cheaper. If they've always been funded by the council, they get it for cheaper. I know this for a fact. They tried to tell me that wasn't the case, but I know it. But the odds are she's going to get moved out of her home that she has lived in for 8 years. Now, it's not perfect. I mentioned before that she had a few quid nicked from her and stuff, but she's been there for 8 years, man. She has made friendships. That place has literally saved her life on 2 occasions, right? And they've done all kinds of things. And for this woman, I did get angry, but I was very calm angry. I was quiet angry. I don't get quiet angry very often, but I was quiet angry. I had my hands holding the side of the chair. I said, right. And I did a thing. I did the thing that I didn't really want to do because I told a lie in the meeting. And I did the line because I was so angry and it came out wrong. But I said, and you'll understand why I said this. I said, well, I should let you know I do work for the BBC. And if my mum gets moved, I will be making a song and dance about it on air. Why did I say the BBC? Because it's got weight and it's got gravitas. A quick Google will prove that I don't work for the BBC. That was a stupid thing to say. But I felt that I kind of had to... I had to kind of hit back in some way. Do you know what I mean? And I said that, and it was a nonsense. It was a nonsense. But I felt I had to kind of show somehow that we would not be, we would be kicking and screaming when she gets moved, if she gets moved. Now, this is, there is a chance this may not happen. But, and it's not this woman's fault, but she was... When I said that, she kind of laughed. She went, well, I'm sure my managers will deal with that when the time comes. And I said, how do you feel about treating human beings like this, like numbers, man, like commodity, that you're, just to save you a few pounds, you're going to move someone who is really ill and has had a really crappy deck of cards dealt her, right? You're going to move her somewhere and make her more miserable. You know that's going to kill her, right? Well, Mr. Lee, I'm just letting you know that's the way it is, and was cold. Now, of course she's cold because that's her job and that's what they have to do, and I don't envy the woman her job. And I'm not anti-social worker by any stretch of the imagination. I think they do a lot of good work, and when it comes down to finances and stuff like that. But flipping heck, man. So you see where I am. And as the meeting was drawing to a close, I was just silent. I just couldn't say anything, because what I would have said was, oh, F off. And I know that that's not going to get us anywhere. And then my mum started crying, and I started welling up. And I said, I think this meeting's over, isn't it? You should probably leave. And we shook hands. And me and my mum, just get this right, me and my mum just sat in this room for 15, 20 minutes just crying. And I apologised to my mum. I said, Mum, I'm doing the best I can here, and I don't think I can fix this. I don't think I can fix this one. And I've been able to fix everything. I've been able to fix everything before. And I just said, I'm so sorry. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can sort this one out. And then I fired off some angry emails because it felt like I was doing something by firing off some angry emails. And I fired off angry emails to the care home saying, I really hope you're going to back us up on this. And I've done stuff for you for free. And, you know, I've opened events for you. And I know that some of your residents pay less because of I really hope you're going to support us on this. And they replied, well, no, all our residents pay the same. And I replied, well, I know that's not true because one of you has told me. Anyway. And the head of the care home came out and said, well, we're gonna do our best to make sure your mum stays here. And I just thought, yeah, you'll do a bit, but if the council say they're only going to pay 600 quid a week, you're not going to drop your fees by 900 quid a week. We're out, guys. We're out. Imagine that. And it's nuts, right? She's being punished because she was prudent with her money, because she paid off her mortgage, because she kept all the maintenance my dad gave when they split up, because she saved all of her money and didn't spend anything, didn't have a flash car, didn't go on holiday. Because she's been prudent, she's being punished. And there are people in this nice care home who were not prudent. It's not criticism of them at all. Who, you know, didn't have any savings, who didn't own their own home, and then they're going to get better quality of care. Everyone, of course, should get a better quality of care. I'm not, saying kick one of the poor gits out and put my mum. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, Jesus, man, it's flipping unfair, isn't it? Isn't it? So, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I really don't know what I'm going to do. And this is just day one of it. This is going to go on for months. And this is just day one. Jesus Christ. What the hell am I supposed to do about this? Anyway. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. Kieran and Tony, you'll be after this.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Hey up, Kieran, what you got for us, boss?
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Kieran. Now, do I need to... What kind of mood are you in? Do I need to shout at you or do I need to whisper to you? Which is going to be more effective? Or do I need to do nothing?
Shall we just see, how it goes, first of all?
All right, fair play, yeah.
Okay.
All right, nice one.
I'm not going to bring down the tone and the kind of anymore, but then I know it's not worth a bean or a jaw or a sausage, but then I just wanted to say that I'm sorry, Dan, that you and your family had to go through that today. I just kind of felt as if I had to say that to you.
Thank you,
and then I hope it gets better soon.
Thank you.
Anyway, so in the kind of in the past, and the kind of done you and they kind of talked about radio not having a personality, and then they kind of therefore it's kind of on its ass a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they kind of then I have been seeing something recently, like an industry that has actually and they kind of injected personality back into it, and it's had a resurgence and it's had a popularity to it. And then it kind of touches on the kind of stuff that you've done in the past.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of gaming journalism.
Oh, sorry, hang on a minute, because I got distracted ever slightly by Periscope. What, you're saying gaming journalism has kind of had a resurgence in terms of personality being injected. Have you seen that new show that Dara O'Brien's doing?
No. No, like only because I don't really watch telly.
No.
But then I saw the advert for it. Like I think I saw a YouTube advert for it, and it was like and that looks like a kind of game show about computer games.
Yeah.
And the kind of for people that who don't really play computer games. Like, but I just got turned off it a little bit. Who knows? It might be awesome, but
yeah, I just saw a poster on the side of a bus stop. That's the only way I know about it.
Yeah.
Well, so where are you reading this journalism, this gaming journalism, then that's got a bit of spunk to it?
In the kind of then I don't really read it like it's in the form of the kind of podcast.
Okay.
The kind of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And then I remember that the kind of you did a gaming podcast. In the kind of was it MSN Gaming? Or
it was for MSN, years ago. And Nick and a young lady called Verity. That was it. Yeah.
Yes, and also looking at it. There was a woman called kind of Jane Douglas as well.
Jane was on right at the start, and she's gone off to be like a presenter of gaming shows and stuff, hasn't she?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
And then I was watching a YouTube video of a guy called kind of Jim Sterling.
Yeah.
And then he's a thing either that he wears a black leather.
Oh.
And the kind of coat, and he wears the kind of leather gloves, and then he stands behind a podium, and then he looks as if he's like a fascist dictator or something like that.
Gosh.
Yeah. But it is entertaining. Like, he might be talking about games, kind of, but he's funny with it, and he's almost like a pantomime villain.
Do you want me to dress up like? You want me to dress like that?
I want you to wear leather gloves, Ian. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah.
But I just wondered that if you, if you've ever got to make a case again about needing the kind of personalities in a kind of radio, that it might be worth just looking down to the gaming journalism side and seeing.
Okay, but how many hits does this guy get?
Millions.
Does he really?
Millions.
Does it work?
Yeah, that he's a freelance kind of journalist, and then he does a kind of patron thing. Dan, have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah, I've got I know a brilliant writer, young writer called Andrew Hickey, who writes about pop music and writes about all kinds of stuff, and he does Patreon, and it's basically people. It's kind of like an electronic passing of the hat, isn't it? They write stuff and publish stuff on their blogs, and if you like it, you put a few quid in.
Yeah. And then I believe it is a proven the kind of thing, because he's making a living from it. His entire website have got staff of about 10 people, and they're all on a subscription basis. But then they give stuff away for free as well.
But the thing is, right, that'd be great. But he's not going to be making. I mean, I would be very surprised if he was making significant money out of it, and the thing with commercial interest, right? This is what I think will happen with talk radio, right? Is that it will all go very, very nicely for a bit, and we'll all be very pleased, and we'll all be doing stuff that's groundbreaking and different, and we'll be patting ourselves on the back, and then come 2 years' time, when our contracts expire, they will replace us with wallpaper. Now, I've got no. That no one has told me that, but past experience watching the original talk radio and other new projects start, that tends to be what happens, is that they bring in colour and excitement and noise, and then that gets replaced with beige, because beige is where the middle is where the biggest numbers are. New Labour, very, very beige party, LBC, very, very beige station with a few exceptions, and it gets massive listening figures. Radio 2, the definition of beige in radio, and it gets huge listening figures. That's the way things go.
I guess it's like any art form. Only because, like I say, in the kind of art form, like any type of the kind of media, that you can go mainstream and then they're going to get the big audiences, and then they're going to play it safe, or go independent and maybe risk it, and and then they're going to find a core kind of audience who might be willing to actually give you a couple of quid a week, and then it builds up.
When I did, and I know things happen so quickly, but when I left Absolute 5 years ago, and before I got the job at 3CR, I did the Pocket Radio Show, which was kind of an experiment. Awesome. It was great. I did it for 12 weeks, and I did it to see if I could A, because I wanted to get something out there and be creative.
Yeah.
B, I wanted to see if I, had the technical know-how to edit a proper show together, and go out and record interviews and mix it and all of that. And C, I wanted to see if I could make money off it, to see if it was possible to make money off it. And A and B I could do. And C, I sold advertising, and I had a donate now button on the side of it. And I think for those 12 episodes, for 3 months' work, because I would record it each week, I got, in total, about 1,100 quid. Now, that's brilliant for a
You're not
podcast.
gonna live off it the way.
Brilliant.
I get
That didn't cover the mortgage for 2 months.
Yeah,
so
of course.
It's that. I mean, that was 6 years ago. Things have changed significantly, but
yes.
I don't know. I don't know what the point I'm trying to make is, but I'm making one, and I made it bloody well.
In the kind of and I know that you're coming up to where the news scene and the kind of stuff, and I won't keep you any longer, but in the kind of podcast are a lot different now, only because of every single one that I listen to, Dandy, you've got Audible advertising on them, like you've got in the kind of Squarespace, and these people, I don't think they've been making a living.
I had Audible advertising on mine, and they only paid if someone went on subscribed using your code.
They could have put the code in.
Yeah, and you got like 20p or something. I think I can't remember. Kieran, I'm going to move on because I want to get. But I appreciate that. Thank you. I want to get to Tony. He's been waiting for absolutely weeks. Good evening, Tony.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right, Tony. Sorry, how are you doing?
Hip.
Hip, hip, hip. Hey,
it's 40 minutes and 13 seconds.
Well, and boy, haven't you enjoyed those 40 minutes? Hey.
Well, do you know what? It's quite ironic because I've got ADHD.
Uh-oh.
And I was phoning to ask you about ADHD, and so many times I was going to put the phone down thinking, I can't do this anymore.
Oh! So in many ways, you waiting for 40 odd minutes and 13 seconds, that was like a gift to you. I was giving you a gift.
In what way?
Well, in that I was challenging your ADHD.
Well, the funny thing is, while I was sitting... Oh, by the way, ADHD, you interrupt a lot. So I interrupted you. I'm ever so sorry. But last week...
Doesn't matter.
Phoned in and asked you a question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?
And then you were going to play it back to yourself on the podcast, maybe.
He's got to... There was a young gentleman who observes the Sabbath, and he has to phone it back to me during Straight to Air, but we only do Straight to Air on midnight on a Friday night, Saturday morning. So because of his devout religious beliefs...
That's right.
He's unable to play it back.
Things he couldn't do.
Yeah.
Like you can't watch films.
Yeah, he can't watch films. Which is, man alive, where does it say that in the Bible or the Torah? My favourite, I think I can get away with this, one of my favourite lines from Vic and Bob on the first series of, like, the early series they did on Channel 4, is they were talking about the...
By the way, you do have ADHD.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
They were talking about...
You just went to Vic and Bob.
Why is it? Well, it's not ADHD, it's called presenting a radio show, you prune.
Oh, okay, go on.
They were talking about the 10 Commandments, and they were trying to list them, and they got to, like, number 4, and Bob went, "Thou shalt not fanny about on a yacht," which I thought was a brilliant commandment. Anyway, I haven't got ADHD.
So you haven't?
Well, I don't think so. I've certainly not had it diagnosed. Oh, hang on. No, I can't answer that until the question is played.
Oh, okay.
No, I can't. I've not had it diagnosed, and trust me, I've been to doctors and psychiatrists a lot. So I've not.
They don't know a lot about it.
Oh.
I wasn't diagnosed.
Oh.
And I won't.
Are you smoking a fag?
Right?
You got a fag on?
No, but I was about to light one, so you might like it.
I can hear the intake of breath.
But I haven't done it yet.
Is it in your fingers? Are you waving it around?
In my fingers.
Yeah.
It's in my...
I could hear it.
Okay, but I've got loads of other things I wanted to ask you as well.
You asked me...
I come from Slough.
Oh dear, whereabouts?
And you mentioned Queensmere the other day.
Yeah, I grew up in
Slough. And then you mentioned the Oracle, and I was like, Oracle? The Oracle? There's no Oracle in Slough.
Well, what's the other shopping centre called?
The Observatory.
Oh, that, yeah. All right.
The Oracle's in Reading.
Yeah. The Observatory. I got it wrong. Whereabouts in Slough did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Brands Hill.
Never heard of it. That's not in Slough.
Do you know the Curly Whirly Bridge?
The what?
The Curly Whirly Bridge in Langley.
No, Langley's not Slough, mate. That's a different...
No, but I grew up in Langley, and then you hang out in Slough.
You said Slough. You said Slough, mate. You've got ADHD. You want to focus a bit more.
My address was Langley, Slough, Berkshire.
Langley, Slough, Berkshire. What's a glamorous... My mum used to work at Langley Grammar School.
Oh, I went to Langley Grammar School.
She was the secretary there.
Really?
Yeah.
To Agro.
For what?
To Mr. A.G. Robinson.
Yeah. Red Robbo. Yeah. She was.
And then he was known as Agro.
He was what?
He was known as Agro.
Oh, I was unaware of the Agro, but Mr. Robinson. Yeah, she was his secretary. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that funny?
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Because you talked about the film Ring.
Yeah.
And I will look at that documentary.
Okay.
But you talked about your depression.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Babadook?
Yeah, I thought it was rubbish.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought it was rubbish. My mate Scott sent me a message when he was watching it. Said, I'm watching this film, it's so scary. He was like, oh, it's scary. And then I watched it, and I thought it was rubbish.
Yeah, but it's not meant to be scary. It's about a depiction of depression.
No, it's meant to be scary. It's a horror film.
No, it's a depiction of depression.
You're telling me The Babadook is not meant to be scary?
Well, it might be scary.
Thank you!
But The Babadook is a representation of depression.
Well, that may be, but it's meant to be a scary film, and I was not scared.
So it didn't talk to you, Ian.
It didn't talk to me. No, I honestly, I found it really disappointing. I found it quite boring, actually.
If you watched it again...
No, I'm not going to watch a film that I found boring a second time.
Oh, fair enough then.
Fair enough.
Okay, so a film for your film ring.
Yep.
12 Monkeys.
It's a good film, that. There's a TV series of 12 Monkeys, isn't there?
Oh, is there? Well,
I don't know. I don't know if it's any good or not. I think 12 Monkeys is an excellent suggestion, but I don't know if it's quite right, if it's quite fringy enough for film.
Okay, what about Four Lions?
No. Next.
Really?
I'm only being abrupt because we're running out of time.
Okay, well, I can go.
All right, then. Nice to talk to you, Tony.
Okay. It was nice talking to you as well, Ian.
Call again. I won't keep you waiting as long next time, I promise.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Now would be an excellent time to call as we have no calls lined up. Interesting, huh?
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Talk Radio.
And as if by magic, two phone callers have popped up. Sarah and then Lee, and then it could be you. I'll give you the number after 12 o'clock, so it gives you time to think of what you're going to say. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I can't recall a Saturday. The rain, winter weather in the end of May. I watched my lover just walk away. Saturday, I can't recall a Saturday. Are we supposed to take our love and just throw it away? Or can we make up, baby? You know I'm getting. 'Cause it's not a good day for a breakup. Let's get together and make up. Agree to disagree. Make a list of everything you dislike about me. Put it on a piece of paper and throw it away. It's not a good day for a breakup. Sunday blues. Yeah, I still haven't got a clue. And I can't seem to get in touch with the truth. And I can't seem to get a hold of you. Now Sunday's through. Kicking myself. And I haven't got a back together today. Well, okay, I'm game. I hope you feel the same. 'Cause it's not a good day for a breakup. Let's get together and make up. Agree to disagree. Make a list of everything you dislike about me. Put it on a piece of paper and throw it away. It's not a good day for a breakup.
Evening, dear listener. Iain Lee. Talk Radio 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Sarah. Oh, shush. Sarah's on the line. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Excellent.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit shy. I've never actually called into a radio show before.
What's made you call in this evening, Sarah?
I just wanted to, you were talking about your mum earlier and the problems she's having with the care home that she's in.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I don't think it's really very fair to blame the care workers for it. They're doing the best they can. It should be the government that gets the blame for all their cuts to the services, which is causing those problems.
I don't think I did blame the care worker, did I?
Well, I'm not sure. You were saying you were upset with them and stuff, but
Oh, so you didn't listen properly?
okay then.
Well, you phoned up to pick me up on something, and then you're saying you're not sure about it.
Okay, never mind then.
Sorry, what? Well, that was the weediest call I've ever taken. What's the? Yeah, okay. I'm angry with the government for the cuts they've made, but I was quite restrained with the I mean, by all means, take an opposing view to what I said, but please, at least have listened to what I said before calling in. I don't know, maybe I was harsh on the woman. Would have been keen to have pursued that a bit more, Sarah. But that's what I call in the industry a hit and run. But it was a little bit of a limp hit and run. A hit and run is normally when someone phones and goes, yeah, I just want to say, no, you shut up. I just want to say I think you're a tosser. No, that's it. Thank you. Goodbye. And they put the phone down. That's a hit and run. Right. That was kind of that was like Knockdown Ginger. That was strange. But listen, by all means, if you want to criticise a 43-year-old man who was in a room crying with his 65-year-old disabled mother because she's probably going to get moved to a crappy care home. If you want to pick a fight with that guy, then I'm here and I'm happy to do it. But get your facts straight first. Get your facts straight or keep it buttoned. 0844 499 1000. Oh, here's the thing I meant to say the other day. Right, so Jason Cundy, who does the show on TalkSport now with Andy Goldstein, right? And he's a nice bloke. I don't know him at all. I speak to Goldstein a bit more, but they're both a little bit protective and defensive of their show and their audience, and that's kind of understandable. But I don't really know a lot about Cundy. I only found out recently he used to be a football player. I don't know. I've no idea who he played for. You don't have to phone up and tell me because I'm not really that interested. The less I know about him, the more I see. Doesn't make any sense. And I've always found him a little bit intimidating in the way that bookish people like me. You didn't give her a chance, Iain. Yes, I did. Well, you didn't give her a chance. She said something, and I picked her up on the fact that it was wrong. And so I'm arguing with idiots on Periscope. And then she put the phone down. What more chance did I need to give her? You utter prune. So anyway, so I always find Cundy a little bit intimidating, but I think he's like a big giant puppy. I think he's like a big giant puppy, isn't he? Bounding along and wagging his tail. Didn't he play for Chelsea? That's a proper team. I've heard of them. And the other day he came bounding in. And saying, Iain, I've left my car at Chelsea. Can you give me a lift? I was like, yeah, sure, okay. And I get uncomfortable having people in my car, and anyway, but I gave him a lift. It was a little bit off of my route, and it was absolutely fine. And there's a car park here at Talk Radio, right? And he got in my car, and there's like an automatic gate, and we drove up to the gate. The way it works, you drive up to the gate, you drive past a sensor, that triggers the door, and you roll back a bit, and the door opens. And Cundy was sat there, and he said, "How did you do that?" I said, "What?" He said, "How did you open that door? Have you got a clicker?" I mean, what are you talking about? He said, "That door. How did you open that? Have you got a clicker?" Well, I didn't see you press a button. I said, "No, mate. There's a sensor by the side of the thing, and you see that little box there? That's the sensor, and you drive past that, and you've got to stay there for a second, and it doesn't always work. Sometimes I have to get out and press the button, but you do." He said, "Bloody hell." He said, "I've been working here for 12 years, and I never knew that. I just would sit here and beat my horn." What an absolute plum! I said, "What?" He said, Yeah. For 12 years I've been here, and I would just sit here and I'd beat my horn until they open it. And if after a few minutes they didn't open it, I would, I'd phone up and get them to open it." And then we were talking to him about that. There's a green button that you press, right? There's a green button, and he said, "Well, that's for the gate that you walk through, isn't it?" I said, "No, that's the green button opens the main." He didn't have a clue. He literally didn't have a clue. I said the arrogance, the stupidity, the childlike naivety, of just him sat there for 12 years, for 12 flipping years, and beeping the horn. At 10 minutes past 1 in the morning. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're dealing with. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Now is an excellent time to call in. Because, there's no one called in, to be honest. Although, I was listening to Nick Abbott the other day. He hardly had any calls. He didn't get many calls. And, he made a perfectly, entertaining show. So, I don't need them. You can call in. People on Periscope saying I was harsh to Sarah. No, I wasn't harsh. Boy, oh boy, if you think that was harsh, you ain't never, listened to the show before. Here's a little thing I will say, right? If people phone up and talk what I consider to be guff, then they will be challenged on that guff. This isn't one of those shows where everybody gets an easy ride and ridiculous views go on chat. Well, great call. Thanks for the call. Let's move on to Steve now. Steve, I believe you want to say something ridiculous that you don't want to be challenged on. That's not going to happen at all, I'm afraid. This show is a little bit more engaging than that. It also means, of course, by doing that, I have to allow myself to be engaged and challenged. And I do, and I will. And if people want to phone up and engage and challenge me, then that's wicked, man. Then you can do that. You want to phone up and tell me I'm a knob, you can do that. Literally, there is no agenda to this show. But also, because of that, if you're talking rubbish, I will either let you hang yourself, or I will help put the rope around your neck. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of how it works. And that doesn't matter if you're 10 years old or if you're 80 years old. If you phone up and you're talking guff, then you'll be told you're talking guff. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Coming up, I'll tell you about what I got up to in Birmingham on Saturday.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
So, I'm making a little documentary about Gary Glitter fans. Gary Glitter fans, right? And it ended up with me going to Birmingham on Saturday. 0844 499 1000, by the way, is the phone number. If you want to give us a call, we call you back. It ended up with me going to Birmingham on Saturday to hang out with some Gary Glitter fans. Now, here's the thing. I quite like Gary Glitter. And that's sort of the kind of story through this thing. Is that I quite like Gary Glitter, but you can't listen to his music. And everybody I've met has been absolutely delightful in this world of glitter fans. They kind of speak in hushed tones and meet in dark rooms, and they share their Gary Glitter memorabilia. And I've met about half a dozen of these fans, and they're all very, 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 very charming, And I wanted to kind of find out why they still liked him, what their views were on stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I won't go into too much detail about what they said. You'll have to wait till the documentary comes out, guys. Okay? You'll have to wait until that comes out. But I think it's quite interesting, and some of them are quite surprising, and some of them not quite so surprising. And we had, there was a very tense argument in a pub in Birmingham about what actually constitutes rape or not. I don't think he was done for rape. Yeah, he had sex with a 12-year-old girl. Yeah, but he wasn't done for rape. That was one of the conversations I had. It was tense, man. It was tense. But that's you'll get to hear that and the story of that in the documentary in good time, which it will either be on we might end up playing it here at some point. I don't know. We'll see. But the kind of the finale of the evening for me was going to see, and it gets confusing, a member of the Glitter Band, right? There were supposed to be two members of the Glitter Band, but one of them was sick. And this guy, I can't remember his name, Johnny Russell, I think, Johnny Russell. This guy can't use the name The Glitter Band because there is another glitter band that have got the legal rights. Are you with me? Have got the legal right to use the name The Glitter Band. So he can be billed as Johnny Russell, formerly of The Glitter Band, but he can't be billed as The Glitter Band. Does that make sense? Does that kind of make sense? I think it does a little bit. And I went and saw this gig. And it was a long old night. It was a long old night. I thought they were going to be on at 8:00, and I don't think they came on till about 10:30, 10:20, something like that. And I don't do socialising anyway. So to do socialising with a group of people that I don't really know, and then to argue with them about what actually constitutes rape or not. It was a weird old evening, guys. 0844 499 1000. It was a weird old evening. And the first band that were on was... they were this punk band, right? But they were all my age and older and doing... like really safe covers of punk songs. It was not my cup of tea. Right? And then the glitter band came on. Now, I may have got this wrong, right? Because I'm disabled, and if someone is talking to me when there's hubbub on, I can't follow it. I can't follow with what's going on. But, I'm sure that one of the people I was with was telling me... Now, do you remember... ages ago, this is so confusing. The bass player from Slade 2 got sacked from Slade 2 because it was revealed he'd been writing letters to Rose West and had proposed to her. Do you remember that? That happened about 5 or 6 years ago. Anyway, I think he was the bass player in this version of the Glitter Band that I saw at the weekend. I think. And fair play to the fella. He was rocking that bass. He was playing, considering he was playing in a version of the Glitter Band that only had one original member in, to 80 people in a tiny little venue in Birmingham. He was rocking that bass. He had the attitude. His bass was a little bit too high for my liking, but he had the attitude, and you could see, if it was him, you could see why Rose West, would be interesting. He had style and he had panache. 0844 499 1000. But what was really interesting, right? I only stayed for about half an hour of the Glitter Band because I was knackered and it was a 2-hour drive home. What was interesting, they did a mixture of Glitter Band hits, and I'm not too familiar with Glitter Band hits. I don't really know their songs. And they did a mixture of Gary Glitter songs, right? And it was really, really weird hearing Gary Glitter songs, and I heard two. I heard Rock and Roll, hey! Rock and roll, hey! Rock and roll. I heard that, and a song I had forgotten about, right, called I Didn't Know I Loved You Till I Saw You Rock and Roll. And it was the weirdest thing. It's a Gary Glitter song, and it was a big hit. And they played it, and the place erupted. They would have, I guess the final song would have been Leader of the Gang. And I wish I'd seen it. But the place erupted. Didn't I saw you at the corner of the dance last night? I was almost leaving when you came inside. Didn't know I loved you till I saw you rock and roll. Didn't know I loved you till I saw you rock and roll. Oh. And I got excited because I liked the song. It's a good song. I mean, it's a stupid song. Gary Glitter songs are stupid, but stupid can be good, can't it? We're speaking to Ron Dante tomorrow, who sang Sugar Sugar. Stupid song, but it's a good stupid song. And I found myself, Mark, I'll come to you in a second. 0844 499 1000. I found myself singing along, and even singing the harmony that I used to sing when I was 15 years old, to this Gary Glitter song. And the fella, Russell from the Glitter Band, was performing it like Glitter, and he sounded quite like him, actually. And it really, I mean, this is kind of getting to the heart of what the documentary is kind of my relationship with Gary Glitter and his music, and can I listen to his music despite the hideous crimes that he has committed. And the short answer is yes. Short answer is yes. Long answer is a little bit more complicated than that. But it felt almost naughty. You know, what's the phrase when you like crap music? Hidden pleasures? Is that what hidden pleasures? Secret pleasures? Dark desires. You need to learn to mouth better. Guilty pleasures. And this felt like the ultimate guilty pleasure of a room full of people, 80 people, stood there singing along to a Gary Glitter song. Now, my, some of the people I met, the word fan is short for fanatic, and some of these were fanatics. One young man, I think I can say this, one young man who's 26 and is a Glitter fan, literally rubbed his hands with glee at one point and went, "Only 5 years until the release party." There was a lot of there was a lot of tongue biting going on that evening because I was with these people and I needed to stay there to see this thing to finish this documentary. So I didn't want to. I stood my ground in several bits, but there was a lot of tongue biting because I didn't want to annoy them and get kicked out. And I was literally in the middle of nowhere. So I didn't want to get murdered? No, they wouldn't have murdered me. But it could have, there was booze flowing and it could have got slightly unpleasant. It'll make a really interesting documentary. And loads of people said, you can't do that. What are you putting that out for? You can't put that. I think you can. I think we can. And I think it'll work. Kath's going to edit it and produce it. And it'll be a corker. But it will be a little bit shocking. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call about that or anything else you fancy. Mark, come to you after this.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. Mark's on the line. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Ian.
Hello, Mark. What you got for us?
Well, I'm having trouble sleeping, so I just thought I'd ring you and have a half-sensible chat with you this evening.
Why are you having trouble sleeping? Is it still... Because I'm in a very cool, air-conditioned room. Is it still humid out there?
No, I had a bit of an accident quite a while ago, so I have problems sleeping at night, so...
What accident did you have, if you don't mind me asking, that causes you problems sleeping?
Well, I sort of managed to run myself over with a tarmac machine when I was at work.
Flipping it! You're like that bloke out of E17!
Yeah.
Were you eating a jacket potato?
No, I was just... I'm a bit accident-prone like
Oh,
him.
mate! What happened? How did you do that?
Just not looking what I was doing, to be honest.
And why does that stop you sleeping, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, because my legs are all busted up, so I'm a bit of an insomniac.
Oh, mate,
I sent you those stupid pencils in the post the other day. It's me again who sent you.
The fella that claims to be blind but then can see.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that letter because I wrote it hurriedly.
Yeah.
And basically, I went into Staples and I wanted to send you a big red easy button that said that was easy when you press it.
Oh yeah. Oh well, Big Daddy's easy.
Yeah, it just says that was easy. I was going to send you it, random crap in the post. Do you know what I mean? Just because my family are a bit like that.
Yeah.
Effing sold out, so I just got one of them can't speak, pencil moustaches and just lobbed it in the post and wrote you a quick letter. But, I just want to put good luck with the show, my friend. Actually mean good luck with the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bit of a saddo who listens to the radio. And
well, listen, I'm a saddo that listens to the radio, and I'm a lucky saddo that now gets to be in the radio and talk to saddos like you. So, you're part of our late night losers.
Well, I've listened to Talk Sport for years. I used to listen to Whale and Noel Galloway and that, like Howard Hughes. And, well, I've listened to it for a long time, so... I think you're doing a good job, and I think you're, really good on this. So I'm just ringing up to kiss you off, basically.
Hey, listen, my arse hasn't been kissed for a few minutes. I need it, baby. Let me loosen my belt. With great pleasure. Hey, no, listen, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It has to be said, you have got the neatest handwriting I've ever seen.
Well, I'll tell you another story as well. I was just drifting off, and then spookily, I just woke up just as you're reading it, and I thought, oh my God, when you said I've crossed the line, I thought, oh God, I think I've done something. Oh, I thought, oh, bloody hell.
Oh no, listen, it was very kind. It's always nice to receive letters, right? It's always, because you don't get letters anymore. It's all tweets and emails and texts and things like that. So to get a letter is always very kind. It means you're going to get a little bit of a ribbing, but but that's the nature of it. It's all done good naturedly, and your pencils were very gratefully received.
Yeah, and when you said, "Oh, I'll be laced with heroin," it just threw me. I was like, "Oh my God!"
Well, did you?
No, because unless Staples are in on a conspiracy to get people who buy comedy moustache pencils hooked on heroin or something.
It could.
Because they're actually from Staples.
It could. Well, I'm sure Staples are in no way. Let's just categorically state. We here at Talk Radio are in no way suggesting that Staples are in any way involved with the horrific heroin trade. I'm sure that they are completely guilt-free when it comes to that particular narcotic.
Well, it's more believable than that flat Earth crap, isn't it?
Hey, I would love to get a flat earther on who could kind of defend their position. My mate Scott is convinced that none of them actually believe it. I'm not so generous. I think that most of them don't believe it. They just enjoy the sport of arguing the Earth is flat. But that actually there are a significant number that do believe it.
Yeah, my friend believes it, but he smokes a lot of cannabis and he's not got a job.
Well, yes, I know people who smoke a lot of cannabis are convinced that there are secret policemen living in their walls. Heddy has texted in, tweeted, if Mark got run over by a tarmac machine, wouldn't he look like Han Solo at the end of The Empire Strikes Back?
I've got some grim pictures, but I'm going to wait till I write the autobiography, then stick them in. I'll send you a free copy.
Yes. Well, I just want to see the pictures. I don't want to read the book. I just want to see...
thanks.
Yeah, but busted leg. And did it have, like, boiling hot tarmac on your legs?
No, well, it wasn't actually literally a Fred Flintstone roll. It was just like a...
Oh, suddenly... It's
a long story.
Yeah, suddenly is not so heroic.
Well, it was damn painful anyway, so...
Yeah, Mark, you man up, I believe is the phrase in this situation. Well, thanks for your call, Mark. I appreciate it, mate.
You're very welcome. Keep up the good work.
Thank
and
you.
Hope it all goes well for you.
Cheers, my dears. I appreciate that. 0844 499 1000. Yes, Tony!
Hello, Ian. I must, in the first instance, apologise for my appalling treatment of you on Saturday morning when we were talking about or arguing about the difference between mathematics and arithmetic. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't? Darts. And I was talking about, you were saying that your boys had started darts.
Oh yeah, we had our first darts game this weekend. We were playing actual darts. We got the dartboard up, which I nicked from, which I found in the skip here at Talk Radio, and I got a nail and I hammered it into the door of the garage, and we hung it on there and we played darts and we were doing the maths and everything.
That you were doing the arithmetic. Anyway, not to worry about that, Ian, not to worry about. As I say, I must obviously apologies there. And also, Ian, do you remember when you were doing that the show at Luton, the last show you did at Luton Library?
Yes.
And I came up to you and asked you why you gave up booze.
Yes. I don't.
Do you remember what you said?
No, I don't remember what I said. Was it a private answer?
They're semi-private. Other people could have heard. But you said there wasn't enough booze in the world. Okay. I think that was a little bit flippant. Can you tell us a little more?
No. Why do you think that?
Okay.
Why do you think that was a flippant answer?
Well, there's plenty of booze in the world.
Yeah, not enough. It's not, but that's not. But that's not flippant.
All right.
No, but it's not.
What is it then?
No, but it's not. That's not flippant.
Is that the real reason why you gave up booze?
Well, it's one of the reasons, yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Good, okay. And you're okay with that now, Ian? You drink hardly at all?
Well, I don't drink anything. I've given up booze. I don't know. I've had a drink. I'm coming up at the end of this month. I'll be 12 years.
Wow.
Imagine.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes. I keep thinking whether I should give it up completely.
Well, do you want to give it up completely?
Not at the moment. I do still enjoy it, but I'm wondering about, the long-term effect.
Well, I don't worry about that. Just get pissed and forget about it.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
There we go. You see, there's that problem sorted out. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, it's... may I suggest we put the second hour out as the podcast, I think, tonight, because this hour's been a little bit... it's been all right, but it's probably the way to go. Podcast, you say? Oh, yeah. We're new and noteworthy again on iTunes, which is weird because we've been around for... Hey, Kath, why don't you come in and join me? We've been around for ages now, and yet we're new and noteworthy. If you want to download the podcast, plenty of places to to go to. You can the one I use is iTunes. You can go to iTunes and type in Iain Lee, and up it pops. Look, Steve Horsley is sending us in his Star Wars teletext.
I like those ones. They're like the prawn heads from the bar.
Yeah. Well, it is the prawn head from the bar, isn't it?
Yeah.
08444991000. So if you go to iTunes, type in Iain Lee, and the podcast comes up, and you can subscribe. And can you send Denny an email? Let's find out the figures for last month.
I'll do it.
And you can get it from your other podcast providers as well. I'm waiting for Rashid to be connected. I can see.
We're always waiting for Rashid.
We're always waiting for Rashid. Here he is. Are you going to? What are you doing?
I just want a piece of paper to write stuff down, so I don't remember stuff otherwise.
Don't. It's gone to voicemail. Okay.
Oh, Rashid.
Are you writing me secret notes? Is that what you're doing?
I'm writing email Denny.
Okay. Well,
that's for myself.
Okay. Well, that's on-air shenanigans. I tell you what, we'll have a little break while we try and get Rashid. 08444991000.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
08444991000 is the telephone number. Now, the big story, apart from Keith Vag.
Careful. Keith who?
Vaz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think he's done anything wrong. I mean, his kids and his wife is an issue that they have to deal with, and but he's not done anything illegal.
No.
And in the great scheme of things, in this instance, I don't think it's any. I don't think it's a sackable offence. Give him a damn good spanking.
He is, and Corbyn is also flagging up the fact that a national newspaper has set this up. What do you think about that?
What?
Yeah.
But they've not. It's not Sting.
Well, they paid these lads to go in and
no.
No.
I thought that it was the other way around. I thought that the escorts. Let's not call them rent boys.
I didn't.
No, but that's what the papers call them. Rent boys. Rent boys. It's not rent girls.
Call girls.
Rent boys. Rent boys. They're paying the rent by playing with another man's winkle. Rent boys. There are worse ways to make a living, but let's call them male studs. Let's call them studs for hire.
Okay.
These are the way I heard the story was these studs for hire.
You heard it that way? Wow.
No, these studs for hire recognised him. They saw through the facade of Jim, the enormous washing machine salesman, and they went to the newspaper with the story. It wasn't the Sting.
Right.
It was the studs for hire renting themselves out a second time on the back of the first time.
Right.
So to speak.
8 weeks previously.
So I think that's back. I think that's out of order on their part, and yet their faces are pixelated out.
It is a bit like revenge porn, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I think the whole thing's a bit stinky, and I don't think it's any of our business. And I didn't join in any of the Twitter fun.
I didn't, because part of me thinks if he is a man,
which he is,
who is secretly or has been until now, homosexual.
Sorry, he's married.
Yeah,
bisexual.
Well,
I don't think
he's been secretly acting out in homosexual urges.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I don't think sexuality is left and right. I think it's all varying hues and colours and shapes and shades.
I like other women, but I don't think I'd do that.
Well, yeah, okay, so that's only a little bit.
But maybe I've not met the right woman.
Exactly, maybe you've not. Maybe you've not. You don't know. Anyway,
but yeah, I do feel a little bit like, he's been made a laughingstock, hasn't he?
Well, he always was anyway. I mean, he's a prune of the highest order. I don't like the fella at all. I think he's a slimy git. But this does not change my perception of him. If anything, I feel sorry for him.
And the papers are trying to go on the ethical, trying to flog the ethical horse of...
the ethical what?
Horse.
Horse.
Careful.
Yep.
Of the fact that he sits on these select committees where they will decide on legislation to do with prostitution, and I believe he pushed for the poppers to remain legal.
Beautiful.
And they'll say, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. But surely he has a better grasp of prostitution and poppers if he is indulging in those things.
There was an interesting thing I did see on Twitter.
On Twitter?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
A woman who is who's a sex worker but also a campaigner said she's had a lot of conversations with Keith Vaz and had to convince him that not everyone's doing it because they're being exploited, because he believed that it was exploitation all the way.
Oh. And what conclusion have you drawn
she
from
said,
that?
so he didn't mind exploiting those Romanian boys in. She said.
She said.
Because she doesn't think he did anything wrong, but she didn't understand his argument before.
He should just put a sock in it. Or on it. Heebie-beegies. Barry Gibbs visited by ghosts of his brothers.
Wow.
And don't worry, we're getting to 5 Bee Gees songs where the titles have been changed to make them ghostly. 08444991000. Bee Gees star Barry Gibb claims he's seen the ghost of his brother. The singer, 70, says he and wife Linda had disturbing visions of dead bandmate Robin and younger brother Andy. Barry said,
Is that fun? Because you're not sure what it was about. If it was real, I saw Robin, and my wife saw Andy.
But no Morris.
We didn't see Morris. He was probably boozing in heaven. He liked his booze.
and then he goes on to explain what ghosts might be.
Go on.
Maybe it's a memory producing itself outside your conscious mind, or maybe it's real.
That's his. He's describing. This is his theory on ghosts. Maybe it's a memory producing itself outside your conscious mind, or maybe it's real.
2 options.
He added,
"The biggest question of all is there life after death? I'd like to know."
Barry, the last surviving member of the Bee Gees, lost 3 brothers. That's unlucky. Andy died aged 30 in 1988 after years of drug abuse. Bandmate Morris died following complications from a twisted intestine in 2003, aged 53. Robin died from cancer in 2012 at 62. Barry endured fresh heart. He's had a lot of bad luck, Barry,
Yeah.
so you shouldn't be laughing.
I'm not laughing.
Barry endured fresh heartache last month when Mum Barbara died, aged 95.
Wow.
Barbara, who was born in Manchester but moved to Florida 20 years ago, managed the Bee Gees' early career with husband Huey, who died in 1992, aged 76. Here are the songs they could sing.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't get the last one. The last one I don't get. So
They
I'm
always
gonna...
go a stretch too far, don't they?
Immortality.
Yeah.
What is their song?
There's a song with him and Celine Dion. It's called Immortality.
Oh, okay. Well, so they've just put the title of a song. Well, then they've put another title of a song then. Staying Alive.
Yeah.
Well, that's just that's just rubbing his face in it that his brothers are dead. They could have been staying alive.
High fives around the newsroom.
Here are 3 that are actual jokes. I do love these. I'm a sucker for these. How creepy is your bruv?
Wow. Wow.
How creepy is your bruv?
That's horrible.
This one doesn't work, but it doesn't work when you say it out loud. You should be seancing instead of dancing.
Well, I don't say dancing. They don't work at all.
Seancing. Dancing.
Dancing.
Should be dancing. You should be dancing. Yeah.
What you doing on your back?
So what does Barry Gibb say when he walks into Keith Vaz's flat and there's two Romanian fellas there? What you doing on your back? You should be dancing. Yeah.
Stop.
We've neatly tied in those two stories, which is great news. Come to you in a minute, Rashid. We're having too much fun. And the last song that the Bee Gees could have sung if two of them weren't dead, but because they're dead, that's what makes it so funny. Fright Fever.
Yeah.
Fright Fever, fright. The thing about Barry Gibb, right, he was the most arrogant of
scary.
He's the most arrogant
He's
of all
the
the Bee
angriest
Gees.
lion.
Yeah, he was. And I read a book about the Bee Gees, and he was, I'll be honest, he was a bit of a plum.
Did you see it when they walked out on Clive Anderson? He was livid.
Yeah, and Morris was the one that wanted to stay, but he heard there was a free bar at the back, so he didn't. But he can't do the falsetto now. And so when he goes to the falsetto, I am a woman in love, it comes out as... And when he goes down to deep, he can do that, but the falsetto, he just can't do it anymore.
No,
and that's the problem.
How old is he? 70?
70 years old.
Wow.
Still, respect to the Bee Gees. Respect.
Hats off.
Well, he keeps his hat on because he's bald as well. Rashid!
Ian, how are you? How the devil are you?
Oh,
Are you doing a voice?
Rashid's doing an Irish voice. This is unusual.
Well, my dad's from Dublin, you know, my dad's from Dublin. I put on my best Irish accent to speak to Kathleen. I phoned up and said, is that Kathleen? And a woman called Emma, she said, no.
Who's
So
Kathleen?
you got two women there now in the studio.
Yeah, but who's Kathleen?
Kathleen, you're Kathleen.
No, although...
Sure to God and be Jesus, you're Kathleen, ain't you?
Sure, I'm not.
Be sure I'm not. Her name's
Don't
Catherine.
think what I know too damn well, just don't. If I'll have you for it.
He's got you there.
Okay. To be honest, I had a great-grandmother who called me Kathleen till the day she died, but that was just through being an old ignorer of fact.
An old ignorer.
Well, you know, my father, he said to me the other day, he said, is that Iain Lee? Is that Mr. Lee's young fella? Sure, he's a fine figure of a man, sure he is. He's a fine figure of a man. But jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
Thank you very much indeed, Rashid. I think it's He should be lying on his back! He shouldn't be dancing! No!
Dearie me, Kathleen.
Sheddy the Eagle.
No. Is this the same paper?
Skint ski star. Lives in garden. This is a sad story.
I know it is. Does he actually live in a shed, or was he being facetious?
In all of the papers.
Yeah, but does he actually live in a shed?
It's in all of the papers.
Does he actually live
in a shed? That's the matter with you, man. It's in all the papers, man. You see in the papers. The Sun wouldn't make it up.
No, but the others might.
The others would.
Oh, devils.
Skint ski star. I've worked with Eddie the Eagle Edwards.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've seen him in Bedford Cinema.
I've worked with him.
He used to live in Bedford.
Yeah, I've worked with him.
I've
made a TV package for either the Watchdog or the One Show with Eddie the Eagle Edwards. We had to go ice skating together. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Skint ski star lives in garden on egg sarnies after divorce.
Mm.
Eddie the Eagle is living in a shed after being left broke by his divorce. It's a sad story. The world's most famous ski jumper said he lost 85% of his wealth in the split with Samantha Morton.
Not the actress.
It includes the £180,000 he got for the hit movie of his life, which was released in March. Oh no, this story is bullshit. Hang on. So the story is he lives in a garden shed because he can't afford a house.
Don't believe it.
Well, it's not true. Eddie, 52, said he survives on egg sandwiches while earning extra cash as a plasterer. God, this is awful. But it's not true. Continue, Evu. He revealed, I moved into the shed in my garden while developing my new house.
Oh.
Well,
it sounds like things are on the up then.
Yeah. I've lived off sandwiches ever since, as I don't have a kitchen. Eddie, real name Michael Edwards. His name isn't really Eddie the Eagle.
No.
Got divorced from wife of 10 years, Samantha, earlier this year. They have 2 daughters. He moved into the shed while work was being done on a new home near Stroud in Gloucestershire. Well,
I think he's going to be all right, you know.
Well, that's not a story. Man builds new home.
We imagined him cowering in the corner of a garden shed eating egg butties, the least fragrant of snacks. But actually, he's only eating butties because he can't get in his kitchen because it's going to be plush.
Well, that's utter... Well, what's the point? What was the point of... I mean, obviously, well done, The Sun, for putting in there, because it was a great story.
Excellent.
But all the other papers, what was the point of that?
Didn't think it through, did they?
Eddie became a star as an unlikely hero as the British ski jumper. He was what the film Cool Runnings was based on, isn't he? I'm not seeing it. He returned...
Oh, bobsleighs.
Yeah, they changed it for Hollywood, didn't they? But it's based on him.
But it's about Jamaicans.
Don't be racist.
No, it was.
White people come from Jamaica as well. So...
Well, I know.
But they talk with the accent.
Yeah.
Hello there, man.
Don't you talk with the accent.
Well, I'm a white man.
You're not from Jamaica.
No, but I could have dreads. Hello there, man. Welcome to Jamaica.
That doesn't make you a Jamaican.
I'm going to make love to you later on at the
What?
bar of the hotel.
What?
That's what they do. A lot of the white Jamaicans, they make love to women like you. Frustrated.
Like me? I flipping don't.
Frustrated, middle-aged, past their sell-by dates.
Jamaicans?
No, this is you I'm talking about.
Wow,
I'm describing
it can't
you.
be. No, it can't be me.
Down on their luck.
No.
Questioning their raison d'etre.
Well, I am now.
They see you as easy prey.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever met Tom Conti, but there's a documentary about him where he pretends to be a Greek man.
Oh, yes, I have seen that.
And
Shirley Valentine.
He has an affair with John Alderton's wife.
Yeah. She loves it.
Well, exactly, and you would love it as well.
I wouldn't.
You would love either Tom Conti as a Greek man,
no,
or a white man doing a Jamaican accent,
no,
to make love at you to the bar.
No,
we're going to go to the bar and going to make love.
No, we're not. Why are we doing it in the bar anyway?
Because I've got many ladies to see. What is
That's the modus operandi, is it?
And now you know that you're jotting down. Book a holiday to Jamaica via Greece.
I'm not. I'm drawing pictures of scissors. That's got to be Freudian, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, you can swing the other way? Oh, no. You're implying you're going to cut off my balls. OK, well, that's... yeah, that's fine. Imagine if I made a joke about cutting off your genitals. That wouldn't be funny. That would be outrageous. And rightfully so, there would be a furore.
You haven't spent the last 5 minutes telling me that someone's going to come and do some... Well, we've talked about my genitals for some time.
Well, no, but if I said over... Hey, Kath, do you know what I'm going to do after the show? I'm going to cut your wang off, right?
Well, I've been swinging my wang around like you have.
That would be outrageous. That would be massive sexual... It would be it'd be in the front page of all the papers. I would get sacked.
Yeah.
Yet you make a joke about chopping my balls off, and isn't it funny? Oh, isn't it funny? Well, I tell you what, girlfriend, men are fighting back, and it's starting from now. We're fighting back.
Okay.
We're not going to be downtrodden by you lot anymore.
Can you call off the white Jamaican that's harassing me at the bar?
He wasn't harassing you. He could...
He is a bit. He's a bit annoying.
Could smell
do you know
an
what
easy
I do?
target.
I go, phone's ringing. Oh, I've got to
Let me
go.
get the phone. Your phone don't work here on Jamaica. We're too laid back for the phone.
It's 1955. Your attitude's calling.
Oh, I see. You do a prepared line.
I just thought that one up.
Well
That's the way I
done.
roll.
Well, on that bombshell, we found out where Kath's going for our holiday. I think it's probably time to say goodnight.
Talk Radio. Listen. Phone. Talk.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.